Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Hi guys, by now you'd have seen our merch store and you're familiar with it. But hold on, what's that, Christmas stuff? Oh, hold on a sec. Merry Clockmas, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies for men, women and children. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Look at the detail on that. But wait, hold on. There's more. Jingle. No, not jingle bells. It's Jurgen bells. Look at the Christmas tree with the trophies underneath it. Snapbacks. You know how it is. You've seen the snaps that before. Oh, it's a red one. It's a red one as well. Guys, you know what to do. Click the link in the description. Head over to our merch store and get your stuff now. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Good evening, lovely people. I hope you're well and welcome to another rival watching Kop-Ish Kall-In. My name is Callum. We've got man like Matt and Drifty. How are we?
We're feeling very saucy, bro. Very saucy.
Dripping in sauce. Dripping so
Dripping in
saucy.
sauce. Dripping in sauce. No, I'm alright, you know. I've had a what do you call it? I've had a packed house recently. So it's a bit hectic, but listen, it's Friday. You know what that means? It's Friday, yeah. Trust me, we move. It's Friday,
and by the way, for all the dirty minds, you know I'm talking about Thiago's goal when I say we're feeling saucy. Get your minds out the gut.
Come on.
Get your minds out the gut.
Dirty people.
Dirty ass.
Come on now.
Dirty ass.
Come on. But people, before we get into the proceedings, we've got to shout out our people over at FansBet. People. We love FansBet and you should too. So our friends over at FanBet have got a totally free-to-play game this weekend for the Premier League action. All you have to do is simply enter to predict the outcomes to be in with a chance of winning up to £10,000 in free bets. I'll repeat, all you have to do is simple to enter, predict the outcomes to be in with a chance of winning up to £10,000 in free bets. Terms and restrictions apply. Full details are on the website. You have to be 18 and above, and please do gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. So make sure, guys, you check out FansBet. The link to FansBet will be in the YouTube description. Go check them out now, people. What are you waiting on?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Listen, it's the new thing. And listen, people, make sure you do what Carl said, yeah? All you got to do is have a little, you know what I mean? Have a little think to something. Who's going to win? And you never know. 10K. You might be walking with this man next thing you know, you get me? So, listen, we got FansBet, man, each and every time. Trust.
All right, guys. So, big talking topic at the moment. Afcon. Now, obviously, we've been speaking about Afcon since the summer because we know how impactful it could potentially be on our season and on our squad. If the Afcon goes ahead, it's going to be Mane, Salah and Naby Keita leaving the squad for could be anything between 3 weeks up to 4 weeks potentially. However, with a new variant of I don't even want to say the word because I don't even know what YouTube's like with it, but the
virus.
The virus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you guys think Afcon will still go ahead?
Have you seen the news today about how it's actually got quite that there's a new variant that's actually like kind of like really freaking people out. So we're going back round again to the point where the world's starting to become like, you know, a mad, you know, we thought we were calming down a bit and it might go back up again. Doesn't that mean we should kind of start taking precaution like that?
If you ain't got to convince me, bro.
I'm even thinking, does that mean that even European competitions should even maybe kind of be considered even? Because remember, you're still flying around all over the place when you're doing that as well.
Here's the thing. It seems as though this is gonna be like the cold or the flu, where it's almost unavoidable in the future. But obviously, you don't want another pandemic. So while cautionary action has to be taking place, I don't think going into a full lockdown or a shutdown again would solve anything potentially. Because all that's going to happen is once we come out of lockdown or shutdown, it's again going to be heightened again because everyone's going to be mingling again. However, I don't agree with just going ham and just being like, all right, let's do everything we were doing before. Let's go straight back into the world and boom, boom, boom. And obviously, mixing football and politics seems to be more and more a thing nowadays because of just how the world is. However, the Afcon has been a talking topic for a long time because, again, you've got different variants over there, but also it's the whole quarantining process as well. Before you go, apparently you've got to quarantine. When you get there, you might have to quarantine. When you come back, you might have to quarantine. Is this a thing where, and then obviously you've got the different European laws across different countries in Europe. Is it just a bit too messy for this to happen at the moment?
Kinda. A little bit like when the South Americans were still going to their international games and they were on the red list at that time, and it was still considered really dangerous for them to go, and they were like, yeah, well, they're going anyway. And we were talking about how the players' health is at risk, innit? Like, even forget about the football. If it's like dangerous, why are the players even going to be put at risk themselves? It's a tough one, innit? Because as you said, you're trying to be normal, but being normal means doing what you want to do. And then, you know what I mean? But we can't do what we want to do because then we're putting ourselves at risk. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's mad. It's mad. And then there's the whole thing as well with the Afcon, just in general. That's been the argument for years and years, where you don't want to be disrespectful in any way, shape, or form to an organization that can pretty much do what they want when they want, because that is their prerogative. But should they, now that they don't have the majority of their players playing in their own country, so to speak, be a little bit more respectful of the European leagues? And maybe just go back to the summer like they did, and it was a good tournament. I don't know what it was like to organize and that, but to watch that Afcon that was in the summer was a good tournament to watch. I don't really get why they're annoyed with it, and then they went back to it being in January again. Was it stubbornness? I don't know. What was it?
So that was going to be my next question. Again, you guys might not have the answers, but hopefully someone in the comments might, or in the chat might. Do we know why it's not done in the summer? Because again, at first I was under the assumption that it might have been too hot around that time of the year.
That's what I was thinking.
Too.
But I've heard that's not the case. I've heard it's hotter in January and February as opposed to, say, July and August. So again, what is the situation? I don't get, because when is this African summer?
Well,
Obviously,
it must be winter, isn't it? If it's hotter in there, because is it Australia? Maybe there's another part of the world where they have their summer and their winter the opposite to us in Europe as well, isn't there? Is it Australia that happens, or somewhere around that side of the world? I can't remember, but I'm sure there are other parts of the world that have like the opposite to us, so to speak. But yeah, don't quote me on that.
It's saying like, well, I just put it in. It's like saying December to March are the summer months, April to May is autumn, and winter is June to August, and spring is September to November.
This is what I'm saying.
That's Southern Africa.
That's
Southern Africa, though. That's Southern Africa.
I'm on Google now, man. I'm looking at. I just typed in Cameroon summer months. Again, it's Google, so don't shoot me down.
Yeah, and this is Google I'm reading from as well. Still, like,
so it says the hottest season / summer is in January, February, March, April, and December. A lot of rainy season falls in the month of April, May, June, July, August, September, and October. So.
Rain. They don't want to play in the rain season. Then
come on, man. In rain season, or you got to play in the sweltering heat?
This is what I was gonna say. Ain't the heat worse than rain?
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. If they don't want to play in the rain season, Europe is rain season about 8 months a year.
Yeah, but they get. But
For
I'm not gonna
England,
lie,
anyway.
it gets torrential over there to the point where like man can't move. So maybe they're more concerned with
I hear that.
Jamrock's just
with
made a good point. I'm going to read that
that.
after the super chat. Ben Castle says African rainy season is July and hotter in winter months. That's why. All right, but rainy season, even rainy season, their rainy season is still going to be like 25 degrees, maybe. Like it's not rainy season like in England where it's rainy season. The maximum you're hitting is maybe like 10 degrees Celsius. Like you're still hitting the 20s over there. Jamrock makes a good point here. Do you think it's because of this, guys? Would you want to compete for eyeballs with another tournament? Do you think that's where it is? The Afcon may potentially, let's say the Afcon falls on a year where there's the Euros and the Copa America. There's 3 tournaments going on at the same time, pretty much. Now, again,
could be that. It could.
The only
be
thing
that.
I would argue or
Maybe.
counteract that with is the timings of all the games might be different, though.
Yeah. They must be because all 3 continents will completely have different times. So literally, you could just watch football all day, really, innit?
Yeah.
Which we would love as a consumer. Imagine if I could just watch football all day. That would be amazing.
That's a dream.
Trust.
LFC Aaron says, depends what African country is in, Cal. Africa is that big that countries in the north, that they have countries north and southern hemisphere. I use Cameroon because if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Cameroon where it's being hosted. So I again, I don't know the different parts of Africa. I only use Cameroon because I saw a few people in the chat saying it's in Cameroon. Genie Houdini says this season the type of midfields that worry me are young, quick, and direct ones. We don't have a super athletic midfield. Do you agree?
I've been saying that for a while.
Probably,
We need legs in midfield. That's what I've been saying.
Because I think when it comes to like techie midfielders, I think we can kind of get at them and use our athleticism. But I feel like when it's like them young bucks and they got mad athleticism, that's probably where we do struggle because we are lacking a bit of legs in midfield, like from an athleticism point of view, though. Thiago's not the quickest, neither is Fabinho, neither is Henderson, neither is Naby, neither is obviously James Milner's getting on, like neither is
The only quick midfielder we have is Chamberlain.
Yeah, Ox is probably the fastest midfielder that we have.
I kind of disagree with you both, you know,
from box to box.
And the reason I say that is because one, how many young, quick, athletic midfields are there? I'm not talking about midfielders, individuals. I'm talking about actual combinations. When you actually look at the Premier League in terms of midfield combinations, I don't think there are many. And then also another thing is you can be young, quick, and fast and all that. Fabinho and Thiago's mind is different. Like they will make you burn your energy because you won't be able to get near them and they'll have you chasing the ball and they'll shut up options left, right, and center. And
Bowen made our midfield look silly.
Yeah, but Thiago ain't playing in that game.
No, but Fabinho, Ox, and Hendo were though, isn't it? And he burnt through them like they weren't even.
Yeah, but that's one game. I think everyone's allowed to have an off game, and that was our off game, innit?
Yeah, I hear that. But that was the game that worried me about how slow our midfield is, though. Because Bowen isn't exactly rapid. I know he's quick.
No, but he's quick enough.
There are quicker players than Bowen. So if he did that to our midfield, that is a bit worrying. I can't even lie.
But no one else has been able to do that. The only other person I can think of that's dribbled through our midfield this season has been Bernardo Silva. And let's be honest, he can do that to any team.
Yeah, he's not even quick. That was more just like quickness of feet rather than.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so it's the two teams I feel like we've struggled against this season from a midfield standpoint, it's probably Chelsea in the first half and Man City in the first half. And both those teams, you wouldn't say have got rapid, quick midfielders. They're thinking midfielders. They're midfielders that will outthink you. I think those are the midfielders that worry me. Young, but again, Brighton. Yep, I'll give Brighton. But again, we all rate Basuma super high on him. And we know he's more than just being an athlete. He's got a very good footballing brain as well.
Plus, the guy who plays next to him, I can't remember his name. He's very athletic as well.
Mpemu, I think.
Yeah, he's very athletic as well. And I mean, to be fair, when we in the City game, Foden was the one causing all the problems. Who is athletic,
but he's playing left wing.
In the Chelsea game, Kante is obviously quick. So those two teams do have the odd player that is kind of quick. 'Cause, I mean, I would include wingers when I'm talking about midfield in terms of like counter-attacking, because the wingers do come back and they get involved like Bowen did. Remember, Bowen isn't a midfielder, but he came back and that's how he was able to like break through on the counter. So I guess you have to kind of include wingers as something that's a bit scary for the lack of pace we have in the midfield as well. Do you know what I
But
mean?
that should be the fullback situation, though.
But because our fullbacks are so high up the pitch, we've always got to worry about our midfielders filling in. Do you get what I mean? And then that's how you end up getting like in them situations where Fabinho and Hendo are just getting ran at by rapid players like Foden. Like I know Milner was obviously a right back during that game, but it was probably because the midfield couldn't get in to help him, why he just kept getting isolated against Foden all the time. Do you know what I mean? So I do worry about the lack of midfield, a lack of pace in midfield a bit. I agree with that. I do. That's why I want to Basuma in there to have a little bit more of a quicker midfielder.
Yeah, I agree. Ben Cassell says, no, being an African, rainy season is no joke. It's heavy rain. The ball won't move. So that's why they don't play in the winter. I've asked before. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I stand corrected if that's the case.
Yeah, like I said, we're not even out here telling everybody it should be done. We're asking why, because I want to educate myself.
Yeah.
I do just finally want to know. You know, when you've always asked the question and never actually found the answer.
Yeah.
It's just like today, let's just actually find the answer. Like, why is the Afcon played in the January?
Yeah, agreed. Niger LFC TV says, when we first bought Mane and Salah, Afcon was every 2 years in the winter. Either don't assemble the African All-Stars or don't complain. African Cup of Nations don't owe UA for anything, though I wish the Afcon was in the summer. Now, again, I agree. Again, I'll be real with you. If, let's say, for example, we had gone out and got Vlahovic and Rafinha in the summer, we're not sitting here worried about the Afcon, are we?
The only part of that super chat I disagree with is when he said don't assemble the African All-Stars then. The reason why I don't agree with that is because you should never have to look at anybody's ethnicity when you're signing them as a player.
No, I think if I'm not mistaken, what I think he's saying is we can't moan about having top quality African players, but moan about them going to play internationally. I think it's a case of...
Okay, I kind of read that as in it was like, well, then don't buy so many African players then. But if that's not what he meant, then
I think he's almost saying don't buy so many African players and then moan that they're going on international duty when this has been going on for years. Like, make sure you have your stuff in order.
That makes sense, and I agree with it if it's from that point of view, because you know it's going to happen. Therefore, you should make sure that you're ready for it, kind of thing.
Because that's like again, let's say, for example, we had, because obviously Jota can fill in on the left and we're all happy with Jota. Let's say we had gone a Vlahovic and a Rafinha in the summer. I'll even say a Vlahovic and a Bowen, which may have been even more realistic. I honestly don't think we're sitting here thinking, oh, geez, African Cup of Nations, what we're going to do? Was it Minamino? Is it Origi? Is it going to be Harvey Elliott being rushed back? I don't think we're having that conversation. We're obviously not sitting there thinking we're going to dust these teams because we know what Mane and Salah bring, but I don't think we're sitting there worried either, if that makes sense. So I think it's more on us.
It's one of them ones where it's just disappointing.
We can't.
No. If it's from that point of view, then obviously I agree. I just wanted to make sure I'm glad we cleared it up, because some people might have took it the way I did, which I don't want the super chatter to look like that's how they come off, because people can see that as being ignorant in it. So at least we've cleared it up. But yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones where we really wish it weren't the case, but you just have to accept it is. Like, I wish it was a summer tournament and we didn't have to worry about all of it, because at the end of the day, it does feel a little bit like you're being punished for buying the best player in the world just because of where they're from. Do you get what I mean? Because let's be real, bro. Even if we did equipped ourselves in terms of the squad, right, and we brought in a couple man, there's still a part of you that knows they're not them, though, innit? Do you get what I mean? Like, because there's levels to it. So even if we had like Luis Diaz and Jota, would be like, yo, more than adequate, let's go. But it's still not Mo, though. Do you get what I mean? The best player in the world. So like, you're still at a disadvantage, regardless of even if you've got cover.
But it gives you a better chance of winning those games as opposed to playing Minamino on the right, for example, or Origi on the left, for example.
That's true, yeah.
Marcus Barnes says that Afcon was originally scheduled to take place in June, July, but Cameroon made a request to change the date of the tournament due to weather reasons. That fair enough. Thanks for clearing that up, Marcus, bro.
So does that mean then that we should base the tournament time on what country it's being hosted in? Because then if it's a country that can do it in June, then do it in June. Do you get what I mean? If Cameroon is an exception to the rule, fair play. Let's just move the date to make sure everybody's safe and is cool. But then whatever country within Africa can do it in June, if it's their turn to host, then let's have it in June. Do you get what I mean? Because it is making it easier for everybody. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. Demo Dre says, big up, guys. I'm a try and call in, but just in case I don't get in, a big stir is being made about Klopp calling the Afcon a little tournament in context. People want him to apologize and all that. Thoughts? Well. I'm going to be real. I'm only going to speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for Matt or Drifty. Klopp was being sarcastic. And people are being way too silly about this, in my opinion. And I'm
cancel culture, Cal.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put it like this. Let's say, for example, I had to fight my nephew today, Ngannou on Saturday, and I don't know, my brother on Monday. I would say, yeah, I've got a fight against my nephew, and I got a small matter of fighting Ngannou at the weekend on Saturday, and then I got a fight with my brother on Sunday. Everything or everyone, in my opinion, would know that I'm being sarcastic. When you listen to the full quote, when you listen to the full thing, I don't like. Let's be honest. He's got African players. He's signed African players. Why on earth is he going to start demeaning African players or African tournaments when he's never done it before?
I'm not gonna lie, Cal.
And again, so Alf Ramsey in a quote years ago said something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, we've just got a small matter of the World Cup coming up." Like, come on, people, man.
The only way you won't know what he's talking about is if it got lost in translation through language barrier. Other than that, there is no reason why you should take that any other way other than to know that he's being sarcastic. And like I said, bro, it's cancel culture. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of everyone acting like they sit on a rose pedal and they shit roses and butter wouldn't melt in their mouth, and they've never done or said anything wrong, but they're quick to just point out any mistake anybody else has ever made and drag them through the mud because of it. I hate it, bro. Like it really irks me. Like, I grew up in a world, yeah, and obviously I'm not condoning this. I'm saying it was right. I'm just saying I grew up in a world where smacking your child was the way that you showed discipline within your household. Now we live in a world where you can put your parents in prison if they hit you. Like, the world's gone too much on its axis now. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's just one of them things where it's cancel culture. Everybody's oversensitive. Everybody's always looking for a reason to tell somebody they've done something wrong or they've said something wrong. And it ain't on, man. It ain't on. There's not one person who can hear that quote and think he's belittling African players. Come on, man. So are we calling Klopp a racist now? Is this the narrative you want to push now? You want to drag a man to the point where you're going to ruin his reputation, make people look differently at him. This is like when you get like false sexual harassment allegations, and then even when the man's cleared, everyone's still like, but what if it was true? You can't do that to people, man. You can't do that to people. Like, you're making a victim out of somebody who didn't do anything. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and you're making I don't like it, man.
Again, I'm not going to call your name out, but someone in the chat is quite vocal about saying he was wrong. Like, everyone keeps on saying he's wrong. Can we get a reason as to why Klopp was wrong? Because again, I'm going to be completely real with people. Sarcasm might not be understood by everyone, but look, it is what it is. Like, you have to understand the intent and the words that are being said. If the words being said, like, all right, so here it is now. I could be like, bloody old women, man. Someone could chop that up, and tomorrow they could post that on social media and be like, that Callum's sexist, you know.
Mm.
That's as simple as it is. But me saying that is probably me going, oh, boy, I've had a rough day with my missus and women, man.
It's
Does
called
that
sarcasm.
now make me sexist?
It's literally like sarcasm is an actual thing. Come on, man.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like don't chop up just a part or a portion of what someone said. Look at the overall context and take it from there, because that's not happening nowadays. And it's very easy to do.
Context don't suit the narrative, bro.
No, shall I tell you what it is, Drift? Context suits the narrative. It's just that people want to get ahead, so they're going to look for anything to do so. And again, look, I'll be real with you, Drift. Like, the bigger we get, it's going to happen to us. Someone is going to chop up something we say, take it out of context, and we're going to have to come back on there and explain ourselves and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm at a point where I'm kind of all right with it, because I know my heart, I know my intentions. The people around me or the people who are close to me know me well enough to know that I'm not going to say something that, one, I don't mean, or two, is going to just be disrespectful for the sake of it. If people don't like Klopp or they don't like hearing certain things, switch off. Switch off. It's like that Katie Hopkins woman. Like, she would say a bag of stupid things and people would be like, oh, I can't believe she's saying that. But mute her on Twitter and don't read her stuff. It's that real. Simple. You don't have to scroll. And I'll be real with you. If Klopp apologizes, I'm going to be more upset that Klopp apologizes than him not apologizing, because he's got nothing to apologize. That's like me getting accused of doing something and someone being like, you need to apologize. I'm going to be real with you. You're probably going to have to punch me up before you get an apology. I ain't doing it. I'm not apologizing for something I ain't done.
I must be honest. Nothing irks me more than being told to apologize for something I haven't done.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah, that badly gets to me, bro. It does. Like on a personal level, that badly irks me. Like, don't tell me to apologize when I haven't done it. Don't make up what you believe I've done and then tell me I should be sorry for it. Yeah, you're actually belittling me, which in itself is bullying. So therefore, you are actually the one who's in the wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but nobody will look at it like that. But you are the one in the wrong. You're bullying me. You're making up what you wanted me to have been like, and then telling me to apologize for it. And if I don't, you're going to make me look bad. You're bullying me.
Yeah.
That's actually what you're doing. And we know bullying is actually one of the worst things in the world. So therefore, who's actually the one in the wrong here? And the media bully people all the time and they just get away with it.
Exactly. No one calls them out. LFC Aaron says Modric versus Thiago, both at their peak and career-wise. Sorry, Modric versus Thiago, both at their peak and career-wise. Thanks, Kopish, for life.
I'm gonna be biased, but I don't even believe my bias is wrong. If that makes, sometimes you can be biased and you're being biased.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm being biased when I say Thiago, although Modric is a fabulous footballer.
I'm gonna say I think it's impossible to say yet, because Modric is almost at the end of his career. Thiago's still in the middle of his. So I don't think it's like comparing.
Well, there's a 5-year age gap between them, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like comparing Salah to, I don't know, Mbappe, for example. Like, Mbappe's career hasn't finished. So Salah's career is better than Mbappe's right now. In terms from a personal standpoint, before anyone says, well, World Cup and this, from a personal standpoint, Salah's got a better career, but Mbappe could easily overtake that. So we don't even know what Thiago's peak is. Thiago can hit another level and we're like, oh, right, this is his peak. Or we might you might fall off a cliff and we'd be like, right, that was his peak. So
plus they are extremely different, Cal, as well. Very
I'm gonna be real with you.
I'm
a massive Modric fan.
I rate Modric. But Modric is a lot further up the pitch than Thiago, and his role in the team is obviously different.
Drift, he does it both, bro. He does both.
No, he's way more attacking, bro. Cruz is the one you would compare to Thiago.
No, Modric does both, Drift.
No, I'm not saying he can't, but not as well as. He's not a deep line playmaker like Thiago. He's more of a dribbler. His role is more taking people on. They're different types of players, bro. They're totally different.
I think he does both, bro.
I disagree. His role in the team is to carry the ball. it's not to sit deep and dictate the pace of the game the way Thiago and Cruz and Xabi Alonso and those type of players. He's basically the Iniesta, and whoever's playing with him is the Xavi. He's the ball carrier, Cal. He's not the dictator of the.
I disagree, Drift. I do disagree.
Fair enough.
I do disagree. Aldrin says some of these reporters are trying to bait Klopp into saying comments to blow it out of proportion for content, asking questions not related to the press conference. Yeah, again, that happens as well. I've seen people in Klopp's press conference asking him about the Man United job and all those things. Who gives a damn? Why are you in the Liverpool press conference asking about the Man United role? And like, who cares? Like, what is going on? Like, how are these people? And look, this is maybe I'm going to go on a little bit of a soapbox here, but these people have the cheek to call out people like us, YouTubers, and be like, "Oh, they're not qualified to do this, not qualified to do that." Just because you went to school doesn't make you more educated. It actually doesn't make you more educated. Just because you read a theory,
it doesn't make you smarter, yeah.
Well, bruv, I'll even say educated, because just because you've got a piece of paper, again, if you like, it's one topic, innit? It's one topic, doesn't make you more educated. You may think you are, but it doesn't make you more educated. I went to uni. I know people who didn't go to uni, and bruv, I'm not even going to entertain having a debate with them because they'll rip me to shreds in pretty much any topic. So it's like, what's going on here? But it's just, again, it's just that ignorance and arrogance, and it winds me up because someone like us can say something and we'll get dragged through. Oh, typical YouTuber, typical fan channel. Like, shout out to Aaron. We see it with Aaron the other day on Twitter. This mug calling out Aaron. And then we're like, hold on. So you can say whatever you want, but because you're FIFA and UEFA accredited, it can sit, yeah?
Sorry,
well,
what?
It's just like when a pundit thinks that they've got a better opinion because they played professionally.
But look at Ray Parlour, what he's doing with Robbie at that time, bro.
So I was going to say,
don't get me wrong, you're more qualified, so to speak, because you've experienced it.
No,
but it doesn't mean that at the end of the day, the other person can't have a valid point or even know more than you.
I disagree. And here's why I disagree, yeah, Drift. And again, I'm not even saying this to be rude.
Sorry, Matt, we'll bring you in. We'll bring you in, Matt. Sorry.
I was going to say, like,
no, we're coming, Matt. We're coming. You're not a parent. You're not a parent, yeah, Drift, yeah?
Yeah.
But if every time you saw me just being terrible as a dad, and you were like, Cal, you're not doing what you should be doing. And then I turn around and say to you, but you're not a parent. Isn't that the stupidest argument in the world?
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Not really anything.
Exactly my point, bro. Because
although if you have played professional football, I get that you'll have a better understanding of certain scenarios, like what it's like to be in the dressing room after a big loss and things like that, because pressurized professional football will come with a level of, if you've been through it, you'll get it more. I do understand that part of it.
Every dressing room's different, bro. How Klopp is after a game is going to be completely different to how Mourinho is after a game, to completely different to how Conte, Guardiola, all these people. So all you can do is talk about your experience.
That's true, but I guess the level of pressure though is kind of similar, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, go true, Matt.
I was gonna say, like, what are we talking about here? Sorry,
no, we're just talking about the Klopp thing and how reporters are getting away with murder and they're trying to call out YouTubers, but they're doing a terrible job themselves. You got people like that other brand that talk crap.
Yeah. Talk doo-doo, them man there.
Yeah,
talk doo-doo.
them lot over there, and because they're ex-professionals or all this, they think they can say stuff, and they cuss Robbie about being clickbait when they're the most clickbait people out there right now.
Yeah. We know where they're owned by as well.
I went on a little rant.
No. Fair play.
The worst argument was you are only doing well because your team are playing poor and you're capitalizing on the thing. And the irony of it being a company whose entire model was call in and be angry after a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally, do you know what that's like, Cal? I'll use your analogy. That is like you are beating your kid every day, and I keep saying, Cal, man, like I really think you should stop. You like, you don't even know. I mean, shut up, man. You ain't even got kids, rare. And then you come round to mine and you see me hit my dog, and you're like, bro, what you doing, man? You shouldn't hit your dog. I'll be like, hold on a minute. You're at home beating your kid and you're going to come and tell me off for beating my dog. What's that? The irony in that would be, you know what I mean? Like, it'd just be like so much. I wouldn't even know what to do with that information. Like, I'd be like, boy, this guy's off his rocker still. Yeah. Like, it's literally that, bro. It's madness, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy. And just to add to that as well, I think in that whole thing of, you know, reporters or people taking Klopp's comments out of context, he was like, if you watch the interview, yeah, they asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, I've got to deal with that little tournament in it, Afcon." He's basically saying it's a massive deal. The way he even said it, if you look at the way he said it, the body language, everything. There's a reason why Klopp even says like Afcon, like obviously we know that we have to kind of keep the squad as tight together and we got to find solutions. Whenever it comes to like January, Klopp's always like, yeah, I got to find solutions because obviously Afcon, he knows it's a massive deal. So anyone that don't understand that and read between the lines, then you're right. I don't know what you're watching. Going back to that journalist as well, quickly, the one that was attacking Aaron, I'm not gonna lie, like I wasn't even gonna say nothing, and I don't really get involved in certain things, but do you know what it is, yeah? You said it best. There's people in the industry that whether they are a journalist or whether they are a pundit, and you know they have their opinions, and that's fair enough. But just because you're in the what's the word I would say, or the phrase, you're in the eye of the people, so to speak, or you're in the main category, yeah. Don't think that you should be telling people how they should feel or how they should act. That's if that's how you feel, that's cool. But if you disagree with someone, there's a way how to do it and be respectful about it. And don't need to disrespect people. And that's why I just had to just, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what, let me just show this man what it is. Because just because, like, what, you got you went on a little course and that, and you think you're big in that. Don't think, but I wasn't even going to, but the wording that he was using was so disrespectful. I was thinking, Raj, you know what? You're either brazen or stupid. And I'm going to say he was brazen because obviously this person doesn't live in the same country and they're talking hella smoke. And I'm thinking, Rah, like, as human beings, you wouldn't be like that. You just wouldn't. Like when someone's standing next to you, you wouldn't talk like that unless you thought you was the guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But in any case, this person was being fully disrespectful. And I was like, no, I'm gonna chime in here and say something because the way he tried to belittle us content creators, YouTubers, however you want to put it, for having opinions that maybe don't go with the mainstream, that's very unfair. You can be like, oh, bro, I disagree with what you're saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got my opinion, you've got yours, fair dues. But to kind of discredit someone just because you're in a public eye, so to speak, I think that's kind of mad. And that only shows as well that you're watching face because, and you're also concerned and you're a bit of a coward if you're thinking, raw, I've got to watch out for this guy here because what he's doing is he's creating a narrative that goes against mine and it's making him look stupid. That's how I felt, and that's why I kind of chimed in on it. It's facts.
Yeah. Mr. Dassay Drift says last year there was a journalist who wrote an article that said that because Sir Busby left Liverpool to become Man U manager, VVD should do the same. Bloody hell. This is what they get paid for, you know. I'm in the wrong job.
Listen,
LFC Aaron says, okay, Cal, Cruz versus Thiago. Thanks. Oof.
still Thiago.
In what? How? When you say
who's the better player? Who's been better? Who's been better over the career? I might have to go Cruz on that one still.
Better player or more successful?
No. Well, better career.
Well, didn't he just say who's the better player?
Well,
the first question was better career and
Thiago wins the Bundesliga every year, though. So
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Even if we're talking about careers, Cal, that'll come down to trophies. Cruz don't have more trophies than Thiago.
I think Thiago might have more.
I don't think
he's got more Champions Leagues, but he doesn't have more leagues. So
I don't think career just comes out to trophies because if we had the Gerrard and Lampard debate and someone said, "Oh well, Lampard's won more trophies," we'd be like, "Well, no, Gerrard's still the better player over the course of his career."
So if you're gonna go to
so in what way did he have a better career then, Cal?
Cruz. I think Cruz has been. And again, this probably comes down to injuries as well. But Cruz has been doing his thing for years.
No, of course.
Even at Bayern and at Real.
I'll be honest with you. There was a part in Cruz's career where he fell off. Like, and he was still good because he's good. But like compared to how he was, like he weren't really tearing up no trees. Like Real Madrid were thinking about getting rid of him, bro. I don't know, man. I mean,
yeah, but we were thinking about getting rid of Xabi Alonso as well. It didn't make him a bad player.
No, that was just Rafa being a nutter. I don't know what that was about.
For me, it's Cruz. Ash says Klopp was being sarcastic. If you didn't get that, you need to get your head wobbled. Klopp has a sense of humor. This woke generation won't get humor. Klopp don't need to apologize for nothing. You know, you'll walk alone. You'll never walk alone, JK. Facts. Fully agree. Fully agree. All right, just before we move on to the calls, guys, got another super chat here. A-Spec says Klopp was actually indicating that Afcon is a huge tournament. It was sarcasm and irony, where the manner of expression in which the intended meaning is opposite of what is seemingly expressed. Tell him again, A-Spec. Thanks.
That is
A-Spec
the
hit
perfect way to
nail
put
in the
it.
head, bro.
That is the perfect way to put it.
By the way, for anyone asking, I'm not Cruz over Modric. Again, I don't think you can compare Cruz, Thiago to Modric because Modric is further along in his career. Like, you have to wait till those two guys finish their careers before you can judge it, in my opinion.
Anyway, we got Thiago. That's all I care about.
Yeah, for real. One thing I wanted to share with you guys is, so obviously Afcon's coming up, and if we lose Mane and Salah, it could have potential impact on our season, right?
Yeah.
Potential. Bro,
Must be.
The potential is high. It's almost a 30, bro.
Ramifications are serious. Bro.
All right, so
if you leave your front door open, what's the chances you won't get back?
Ramifications are serious.
But while they're at Afcon, we've got the front and the back door open. Breeze just running to the yard. Turn the heating off. There's no point in having the heating on.
am I right in saying the last time that Afcon happened was in 16-17? That was in the winter.
I think that was the last time. It was when we lost Mane.
Because that's when we lost Mane still.
All right. So going into the Afcon, if I'm not mistaken, I think we were second. So I'm looking at a website called anfieldonline.co.uk and I'm looking at their statistics. And I think in January when Mane left, we were sitting second in the league. If I'm not mistaken, when he came back from the Afcons, we dropped down to 5th.
We are in deep shit.
Now that season, we decided against signing anyone to replace Mane. There was talks of Quincy Promes, there was talks of other wingers, etc. We didn't sign anyone. We lost Mane and we dropped from second in the league to 5th. Now, ultimately, that season we still got 4th. However, it derailed us from a title challenge that season.
And our squad wasn't as good, though.
Now, again, we can only probably answer this question realistically with hindsight or God willing in the end of 2022. Is this more of a risk going into this January not signing players, or is it more of a risk then?
So we don't have the capacity.
More of a risk then or more of a risk now, guys?
I think it was more of a risk then in regards to the squad was worse. I think the worse your squad is, the more you should do it. But right now, with there being higher level of competition, it could be more detrimental. Because I don't think anybody expected us to win the league, even though we were playing well in that season. Whereas now we do have an expectancy to win the league. Do you know what I mean?
Just to put in context, I think I can't remember all the teams we played in that run. I do remember us losing to Swansea at home, though. That was that was a game that really stuck out to me. We lost 3-2 at home to Swansea, and if I'm not mistaken, they got relegated that season. So and that was at home. Dinesh says Thiago is the best player as he's won the Spanish, German leagues, and in May 2022. He will lift the Premier League and Champions League.
I like that. Listen, I like that positivity.
So.
That's a very bold statement. Am I wrong or right in believing that Thiago was also part of one of the world accomplishments for Spain? Or am I wrong? You know when they did the Euro World Cup, then the Euro, was Thiago part of any of those squads?
I think 2010. I think he was.
I think 2020 definitely was.
So he's also won the World Cup as well.
No, he's won the World Cup. Thiago won the World Cup. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't like doing the trophy thing for who you are as an individual, but I'm even just trying to think.
No, he wasn't. No,
if there is a trophy that he hasn't won, like I'm trying to think if there's.
It might have been Euro 2012 then.
Was it 2012? I swear it was in there 2010. No, you're not there in the squad.
I'm not sure.
If he wasn't there, then fair enough.
Fair enough. I thought he was. I know he wasn't a starting team because 2010 was the Alonso Iniesta and Xavi era, innit? It was that
Which one was Marcos Senna? Senna was in there with one of them as well.
No, I said Senna want 2010.
Oh, shout out to Rams. Rams says he wasn't in any of them.
What?
Fair enough. I mean, he would have
Was
been
he
quite
not?
young, but I thought maybe he would have been a part of one of them.
He's 29 now. So
No,
that
he
means
turned 30 now, innit?
Oh,
So,
right.
that would have been what, almost 10. That was 9 years ago. So he'd have been.
so
21.
he would have been. So that would have been when he was breaking through before he went, just before he went to Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
I would have thought he would have been in the squad then, but that's fair enough. I mean, Mustafi has a World Cup, so we're not trying to say there's anything about.
But that's
why
one makes you
great
or
anything.
To do with trophies, in my opinion.
Yeah, I understand.
No.
I understand.
All right, guys, we're going to open the phone lines now. So, people, when you come in, we ask you guys to ask us questions. Tonight, we just want to hear your thoughts and opinions on stuff, guys. So you've got a minute and a half to say what you guys want to say. If there's questions there, then obviously we will answer. We're not just going to be like, nope, no comment. We're not going to do that thing. But you don't have to come in with ready-made questions. You don't have to come in with sort of any criteria. Just come in, express your thoughts and feelings, and we move.
Let's just be real with them, bro. The show has started to become a little bit about us, and we want the show to be about you.
Yeah.
So we literally, if there's something you want to get off your chest that's football related, as long as you're not disrespectful, come and do it, man. Come and do it. You know what I mean?
All right, guys. So we're gonna bring in the first caller, brother Rams. Welcome to the show, bro.
Yo, I'm first. Damn, jeez, damn. Okay.
What's going on, bro? What you say? You thought you was gonna have to wait in the queue, yeah?
Yeah.
No, bro, we saw, man, it was like, you know what, Rams is VIP, man. We are we doing in the queue, Rams, man?
No, in fact, no, because I get eaten up in the DMs. No, we don't run it like that, people. Rams was actually the first one in there. There ain't no favoritism. Rams was literally the first one in there. Still.
Rams came in looking fresh, man. I wanted to make you feel special, man. Come on.
Yeah, lads. How you guys doing? Are you all
Not
good?
too bad, bro.
Yeah, man. Bless, man.
Bless, bro.
I just want to say, I watched the watch along. Yeah, I couldn't watch the FC Porto Liverpool game because one of my mates had a civil, and it was my dad's birthday, and I was wishing, I hope to God that I could get in time for the game, and I wish I was, because that goal from Thiago, I can't say anything. That was pure sauce. You know honey. You know honey. And then you got that Manuka honey from New Zealand.
Yeah,
It was that.
Cleans the gut and that. Yeah, bro.
Special goal. But yeah, I'm just gonna be a quick thing. Yeah,
I got
quite a few questions. My first thing I want to say is, I know that Matt, you're talking about what's his name, Christopher Nkunku, for the last couple of weeks.
Bad boy. Yeah,
he's a baller. But I don't think he would be good for us. Unless you're going to get an attacker, like an attacking midfielder, if you want to play that double pivot with Fabinho and Thiago. But for a 4-3-3, I'm not sure if he's going to sort of fit that mold. So I was told Callum this player, I was thinking he might as well get...
you spoke to Callum about this first? Is it now? Okay. All right. That's how we're doing it now, yeah?
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm joking. No, it's cool, bro. No. I hear what you said. Yeah,
because I had to get this gone quick before I forget.
Yeah. No,
I want you guys to have a look at Konrad Laimer, who plays for Leipzig as well.
Okay.
And he's a very good defensive player, and also he can bang one in from 35, 40 yards out.
Okay.
And I got a couple of questions for you guys. Firstly, it might be an unpopular opinion, but in my opinion, Joshua Kimmich is the only generational player in the world at this moment in time in terms of midfielders.
Okay.
I wonder if you guys agree. I think Frankie can get to that, but I don't think he's anywhere near Kimmich's level yet. That's why Kimmich is in like a world of his own. So I want your thoughts on that. And who do you guys think is the best wonder kid right now? And in my opinion, I think it's Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen, because he's been tearing up trees. He's been
sorry. Really, I'm pausing your time here, Rams. What's your definition? So to answer your question, how old is the oldest a wonder kid can be?
Under 21.
Under 21.
Under
And-
21 in the way that you can be 23, but if you was 21 when the tournament was.
Drew.
not Jesse Lingard, fam. Not Jesse Lingard, bro.
No. I was saying that to be sarcastic because of how stupid that rule was. Can you remember that? Where you could be 23 in the tournament because you were 21 when qualifying started. That is the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Sorry, can they be 21 on the dot, or do they have to be literally 20?
Under 21.
They have to be under, so they got to be 20 then.
20
They
or,
can't be
20 or
harder
younger.
than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy for me. That's easy.
And one last thing. I know you guys did like your Europe 11, yeah? I did like a little bit of mine on my own. I'm not going to lie. You guys talk about your midfields. I think my midfield is the best out of all of you lot, even though I'm going with the scraps. So I'll go quick thing, yeah? In goal, I had Oliver Kahn. Right back, I had Michel Salgado. Right centre back, I had Desai and Fernando Hierro. Left back, I had Andreas Bremer. And then my double pivot, not gonna lie, I think it's better than all of yours. I had Lothar Matthäus and Frank Rijkaard as my double pivot.
Pause. 1 second. Even though you might have topped it, did you see them play? But you know, in terms of picks, those are two massive picks.
Huge.
But in terms of quality, what you brought to the table,
it's undeniable.
Massive.
And then at right mid, I had Clarence Seedorf.
Yes.
Cam, I had Michael Laudrup. And then the left, I know he's not a left winger, but I saw shoehorned him. I put Del Piero on the left.
So you did the drifty.
You done the
That's a me still. Actually, I don't even know, because I was during that thing. I think Cal put Ribery on the right, and I'm like, everybody's doing a bit of this.
Hold on. Ribery in his career has played on the right. Del Piero's never played as a left winger.
No, but what I mean is, like, barely.
And then up front, I had to put I put Lewandowski up front. That's
a sick team. That's a sick team. That's actually a sick team.
But no, trust me, bro. It's one of them ones. Bob, you know what's nuts? Nobody did a team and put Shevchenko up front.
Yeah.
Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Bro,
days.
I didn't put Desai in, and I think I told you, man. Afterwards, I was like, I should have put.
Look, you see Hullet, bro. Hullet might be one of the most underrated ballers ever. Yeah. Like, I don't think the youngers actually know how good Ruud Hullet was. Bro, they just think he talks on BBC Sport now and again. You see Ruud Hullet, yeah?
With the dreads, bro. Ruud Hullet with the dreads, bro.
Dreaded up Ruud Hullet.
Disgusting.
Nah, but Matt got me with that. Have you seen them play kind of thing? You got me bad.
No. I'm only playing because, to be fair, because what it is, I remember when we done it and when we started it, we were like, because I think Jiff was like, we can pick anybody. And then we kind of came to the conclusion that you can only pick 3 players that maybe you kind of didn't watch, like actually didn't watch them. Because it's kind of not cheating, but you're kind of pulling a bit of a fast one. But at the same time, if you've got the football history and knowledge to know about those players, I'm not going to disrespect your picks, bro, because they are absolutely amazing picks. And I can't even front. So
do you know afterwards? Do you know afterwards who I realised that everybody slept on? First of all, imagine if you threw Platini in that team, Ram. Jeez. And but again, no one watched him from our generation. Nobody put Cantona in their team. That's nuts. That's the caliber of player that's just getting dismissed.
You know what? If it does bug you guys, I'll take out Del Piero, but I think this guy could do a decent job. I'll put Georgie Haji in there instead.
Yeah, with the left foot in that. Man was size 4, bro.
I did not say to you, lot, as soon as we stopped the live, how did nobody put Stoichkov in their team?
Yeah, no, he's another one.
It's Pete. There's too many, Ram. There's too many. Like, you could go wild with it, innit? Like, there's too many, bro. Davids. Nobody put Edgar Davids in their midfield.
Yeah, that's a mad one. And if you want a video suggestion, you could do. I know you guys had a massive fight and a battle. I know Callum was in Drifty's head, and Callum, that was cold, bro. That was real cold. what he did to Drifty, man. But
All is fair in love and war, bro.
I guess so. I guess so. I guess so. But you could, guys, do a rest of the world 11.
Are we going?
Oh, we've already got that. Trust me,
Oh,
Ram.
yeah, we got that
Yeah,
plan,
yeah,
bro.
But
We
you
got
have-
that
but you-
plan.
If you want like you have to pick one player from every continent.
You know what? We're gonna do that as another video
That's another
after
one.
that
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna get heated, bro. It's gonna get
Yeah.
heated. Don't get
And,
gonna do that.
and you
twisted.
can only pick one player that you didn't see.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
We're actually thinking about doing. You can only pick one player from each country, so that will make it even more crazy.
That will
bro.
make it mad.
Because there's certain man who's gonna want 2 Brazilians, 2 Argentinians, 2
Yeah.
French. If I remember, the whole team was just French when Matt was doing this Euro 11. Like, if man can only pick
Look at
one,
the
who
shade.
you gonna pick?
Look at the shade. When you're winning, you get shade.
gonna
When you're on
pick?
top, you get shade, innit?
I'm
When you're on
just
top, there's
saying.
only one place to go, innit? You know what I
It's,
mean?
Matt was out there, like we said, you have to pick players who've only played in blue. Do you know
Bruv,
what I
I
mean?
picked
Like,
2 players to start off my combo. Zidane, Henry. When I said that, I said you man are in trouble. Fact.
Yeah, but
no.
not gonna
I
lie,
don't even think you got them both at the same time. Cal was the first one to have a double pick. I don't
No,
even
it was me
think
the
you...
double pick, bro. Remember? You went first.
Were
Callum
you
was
last?
second.
Oh,
I was
okay. I
last with
thought
the
Cal.
double
Why
pick.
did I think
Like-
Cal was last? Oh, okay.
Matt, your centre back partnership is a bit tiny.
A bit
Yeah,
tiny. So hold on.
Ram, you got sensitive about this at the time. Let's not go back over it. You
Can I
got
just
sensitive
speak?
We're
about
gonna have
this.
to get the next caller in.
Yeah, we're gonna
speak?
get sensitive. Matt, leave it, bro. Leave
Sorry,
it.
So I win the ting, and man wanna start getting petty.
Leave it.
Oh yeah, I have to pick Callum's team because he has the goat Maldini in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know. He knew what he was doing when he picked Maldini and Ashley Cole. It was all bullshit, Ram. That's what it was. It was all bullshit.
Now Rams, it's all love. It's all love.
But yeah, big up though, bro. Always, man.
Big up,
Always a
guys.
pleasure. We're gonna
Big
answer
up.
those questions now as well, bro.
Yeah,
Big up, bro.
See you guys
Bless
later.
brother. Take care.
Take
man.
care, bro.
Peace.
All right. So Ramsey's first question is Kimmich the only generational midfielder?
Ooh.
When he says generational, I forgot to ask him. Can he be nearly at the end of his career? In that,
Thiago.
well, Modric, Thiago, we've been talking about a few players who were all generational, innit? So like I should have asked him, does he mean like currently in their prime kind of thing, or like, because obviously Kimmich is way younger than them lot, so I'm guessing maybe Ram means of like the
Kimmich
new
is
wave.
26 now.
Well, that's 4 years younger than Thiago and nearly 10 years younger than Modric. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it is a
There's a
massive
few
gap,
players
especially
that
to Modric. Yeah, and Busquets is generational.
Yeah.
I know he's like 35, 34 now, whatever, but he was a generational midfielder. Yeah, when we say midfield, in what way? Because if I said to you, lot, as an example, Neymar, is he a midfielder or is he a forward?
It's a forward.
He's a forward.
Even though number 10 is classed as a midfielder.
He doesn't play number 10.
He
for
plays.
PSG. He
He
plays
left wing.
left wing.
He left wing,
But
he's-
effectively, he is a number 10 who just plays wide to accommodate him into the team. If
But
you
he-
really deep it, he's a number 10 who plays wide to
But even if that's the
Ronaldinho
way-
played
that's the
wide,
way he
but he
plays.
was
No,
a
I
number
hear you.
10.
No. Neymar and Ronaldinho are 10s in terms of their playing style. But, and this is the big but, they play left wing. So we can go by like, oh yeah, they were born to play 10, but they play left wing. So I suppose you kind of have to.
But
put
they
them
were
in
playing left wing to accommodate the same way
But
Hazard was for Chelsea, but we all know Hazard is a 10.
But that's what I'm saying. He still
But
played
that's what
those
he
positions,
plays,
bro.
though.
It's basic, but basically what it is they're players born in a generation that don't want to play the position they're made for. So you adapt because 4-3-3 and all these other formations. In a 4-4-2, every single one of them would have been a number 10/support striker.
Well, here's the thing. When Neymar's best football at Barcelona, he was left wing. The number 10 spot was, they didn't have a 10, but their closest person to the 10 was Iniesta. You go to Neymar now at PSG, he does a bit of both. So he plays a bit of left wing and he plays a bit of 10, but he's played the majority of his career as a left winger. So you kind of have to put him there, even though I know what you're saying. By trade, he was born as a 10, like him and Dina, but because they've got athleticism, they're more suited to the left wing. So we
I
kind of
just
have
think
to
it's the
put them more...
formations, you know, Matt. I just think it's the generation and the formations they were played in. Brazil played a 4-3-3. Barcelona played a 4-3-3. So where was Ronaldinho going to play a 10? There was no 10 for him to play. I feel like it's just the formation because Bergkamp played as a support striker /10 because he was in a generation where 4-4-2 was the thing. Do you get what I mean? And Del Piero, support striker /number 10, because he was played in that, like, you know what I mean? They came through the generation where that was the formation.
They didn't have
They didn't have the athletic. They didn't have the athleticism. You're right. They couldn't have played wide.
Like your Dinos and Neymars.
But do you get what I mean? They grew up in a generation where the formation suited them actually being able to naturally be who they are. Whereas,
the team was built around them. The teams that Neymar and Ronaldinho, dare I say it, okay, Ronaldinho at one point is kind of built right him, but
I don't think the team was built around Ronaldinho.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of not, because you look at the midfielders that he had and the strikers that he had, and even Neymar at PSG. When you've got Mbappe, Di Maria, and you've got Verratti, who I think is generational as well. I'm not sleeping on Verratti. I actually think Verratti is a generational player. Some people
you're a big Verratti fan, innit?
Bro, I think Verratti is this. I think Verratti
I'm not getting involved
is one of the most underrated players in Europe, and I don't understand why people do not rate this guy. Why?
You lot had one of the biggest arguments in the studio we've ever had.
Because he's 5'4" and from Pescara, and people don't know about man's bio. Verratti is serious. I'm sorry, but Verratti talks to a lot of centre mids. He does. Facts. I know Carl don't rate him, but I rate him.
No, I think he's good. I don't rate him as high as you do.
No, fair enough. He can talk to our midfielders though.
Okay.
How old's Kante, you lot?
You don't age, bruv.
I don't even know.
Kante's generational. Without a shadow of a doubt.
No, do you know, I don't even want to dig people out, but...
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't want to dig you out.
Andre is on a wind-up. He's on a wind-up.
I don't want to dig people out, but man...
That's crazy.
I mean, there's an argument that Xhaka plays better for his country, but obviously he's not as a better player.
Bro.
What?
There's an argument. Xhaka performs very well when he plays.
As in, Xhaka plays better for his country than Verratti plays better for Italy.
Plays for Italy?
There's an argument.
Nah, there's no argument, bro.
You know what? This is why I don't get involved in certain types
bro, there is actually... Look, I'm not even a Verratti guy, but there's no argument, bro.
Are you basing that on the fact that Italy's a way better team than Switzerland?
No,
so they will achieve more.
Verratti was fantastic at the Euros.
Verratti's the glue.
The only time I've seen him play bad for Italy is when he comes up against a prime Isco. Like it's really
no, I wouldn't even. You know what? Isco had two good games, you know.
No, but Isco did bully him up, bruv.
And where's Isco now, Cal?
No, I'm not, bruv. I just said Isco. The only time I've not seen him play well is when Isco dealt with him, bro.
No, I'm just saying, though. Anyone can have two great games in their career, but where's Isco now? What's Verratti doing now?
Bro, I'm not saying Isco's having
Isco's surplus to requirements.
But you gotta be real. You gotta be real. Isco put him in the spliff and didn't even smoke it. He actually just left it on the side and let it go.
No, but twice. But that doesn't make him a better player or a better career. I'm just saying I've barely seen him play bad, apart from the times where Isco dealt with him. I don't think that's a bad thing to say. That's like me saying I've only seen Alisson play bad when he's in front of R9 or, I don't know, when Sergio Aguero is running in on goal. It doesn't mean he's a dead player, but you can't deny that Isco absolutely dealt with him, bro.
So if a world-class player has two bad games against a guy who has great games every now and again, that makes Isco the guy that can talk to Verratti. That's what you're telling me.
I've never said that once, bro.
No, I'm trying to see where you're getting at, though.
No, but I just said he's had a couple of bad games for Italy. And
they're not even the same position, Matt. That's not comparable.
But they're not even the same stratosphere. You see, Verratti.
No, but I said that's the
talent-wise they are, but career-wise, no.
No. Verratti's different to Isco, fam.
Talent-wise, Isco is absolutely disgusting. His career don't make it look like it. Isco's disgusting talent-wise.
We'll come. Look, let's finish.
Let's not.
LFC Aaron says Rijkaard could talk to anyone as a DM.
100%.
From videos I've seen, but again, I didn't watch him, so I can't sit here and say.
I agree.
Shout out to Emil John. Special shout out to Emil.
Hey, man, like Emil, you
big
know.
up, man.
You know why, Emil, bro. But special shout out to you, bro.
In fact, you know, drop the bomb for Emil, man.
Yeah,
drop the bomb for Emil.
We've got to drop the bomb for Emil, bro. Emil's a special man.
Trust.
Gene Houdini says, fellas, each of your answers, no emotions involved. Would you rather have Coutinho's right foot or Salah's left foot?
Coutinho's right foot.
Salah's left foot.
Yeah, I'm going Salah as well. Salah's been doing this from early doors and still doing it now.
Coutinho,
he's not talking about consistency, careers, and all that. He's just talking about who has a better shot. Coutinho's got a better shot than Salah.
No.
It's not just shot.
He didn't even say shot in there. Where do you see shot in that?
Just who's better,
if you say who's got a better right foot, or like if I said to you who's got a better left foot, Giggs or Robin, it would be about shooting and crossing, right?
Bro, no. Bro,
what else would it be about?
Bro, Genie Houdini
passing,
he's talking about the array of everything because he didn't.
All right, well, I'm not even. Again, people are going to think this is me shading Salah. I hate these fucking conversations. Coutinho dribbles better than Salah. He passes better than Salah, and he shoots better than Salah. So what else is there that would be in the conversation then, guys? Pete Coutinho, let's not forget the one who dripped out. Pete Coutinho could dribble better than Salah, pass better than Salah, and shoot better than Salah. So what are we talking? And I'm not shading Salah. He's the guy.
Who's a better finisher
on their strongest foot? Of reality.
Who's a better finisher on their strongest foot?
Finishing in what sense? Salah's more consistent, gets closer to goal and whatnot.
Salah's a better finisher.
Salah's a better finisher on his strongest foot. Who's got the better weak foot?
Coutinho.
But this wasn't weak foot. This was just left or right.
I think with Coutinho, man, are thinking about
Pete Coutinho had better everything. And I'm not being shady because I love Salah. Before everyone says I'm a Salah hater.
We got another question.
Salah just gets hate every day, you know.
How is that hate? Don't do that, man.
Disrespect to Salah's mad.
Don't do that. Because Pete Coutinho was disgusting. There's a reason why Barcelona paid 146 million.
But
it wasn't a question of consistency, bro. That wasn't a question.
You're saying array of everything.
Who's the best wonder kid under 21? Rams asked.
Kareem Adeyemi for me.
No Jude Bellingham, no?
No, Kareem Adeyemi.
Bellingham's, but Ansu Fati.
Kareem Adeyemi.
Although I'll be honest, I don't watch that much youth football, if I'm being completely transparent.
For me, it's between Bellingham and Fati. I can't put Adeyemi in there yet because of the league he's in.
I mean, you've got Gavi. Apparently,
Hedry's a beast as well.
Adeyemi's doing it in Champions League.
Like, ain't Gavi only 17?
Didn't Adeyemi win 3 penalties in one game?
Against who?
Yeah, but that's not a problem of you being the best young player in the world.
I'm not saying that. It's because Carl. It's only because Carl said, but look at the league though, and I'm saying Adeyemi's done it in the Champions League as well. He scored goals in Champions League as well, you know.
No, he has, but
he's banging in goals in Champions League.
Do you know what? Someone just made a good point. Haaland's only 21. Does he not?
No. Ram says it's under 21. Can't be 21.
But he only turned 21 like the other day, right?
I know. If it's under 20, if it's 21 and under, then it's Haaland all day. But I can't mention Neto. Neto's 21 as well.
Hold on, how old is Foden?
Foden's 21.
Yeah, I'm sure Foden's turned 21 now. Yeah.
Get in there.
João Felix is 21 as well. I did
If we're
research.
going on form, I think it's Vinicius Junior on form.
Yeah, but he was so poor for a long time that I'm not.
No, it don't matter. No. Vinicius Junior turned it around, bro. Trust me, he's turned it around. Turned it around on form.
Right. Let's get.
Yeah, but form can go away. I'm saying we need to wait a little while
Vinicius
longer.
is here to stay, bro. Trust me.
There was a point where Real Madrid didn't even want him anymore. So I'm saying let's wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Never wants to get rid of him, bro.
Welcome to Jam Rock. Welcome, bro. How are you?
How you guys doing?
Not too bad, bro.
Bless,
man. What's going on, bro?
All right, bless. This isn't necessarily a question. Cal, I watched the show this morning in regards to that favoritism stuff that you were talking
Oh,
about.
yeah. See, I gave you a shout out there.
I
Still.
know, I appreciate that. This is more of something for you guys to kind of think about and maybe talk about holistically.
Go on.
My concern in regards to that favoritism and Klopp utilizing his favorites isn't as much as how it affects players that are in the squad right now. It's more of how does it impact recruiting and trying to get some of the younger talent who I keep on going back to that Fabrizio Romano tweet where he was saying that it's not only the fact that Liverpool want to only purchase players that meet their evaluations, it's also that players, which I'm assuming, but I'm not even assuming, more than likely he's getting the information from agents as well as players saying, hey, what happens when all of the injured players return? How much game time am I going to get? Because that could impact your recruiting as well, where someone like Adeyemi, who looks like he's leaning towards signing for Borussia Dortmund, even though Liverpool might want him, you're thinking to yourself as an agent, how much game time is he going to get behind Mohamed Salah? You see what I'm saying? That is my concern more than anything else. Players and agents are seeing the same thing that we're seeing. And if LFC comes to them and says, hey, we want to, acquire you, that agent can advise the client, like, are you sure that's what you want to do? Because you might get any playing time.
Can I ask you a question, Jamrock? By the way, I fully agree with you, by the way.
Sure.
Agree with you.
Uh-huh.
But just to play devil's advocate, could you not argue and say that if a player doesn't think they can come in and dislodge one of our first team players, then they're not good enough because they haven't got that elite mentality potentially? Because Jota, for example, came in and he obviously had the mentality of Mane, Salah, Firmino are set in concrete, but someone's going to have to sit on the bench for me. I don't know who, but someone's going to have to. And he's starting to prove it.
Well, here would be my counterpoint to that. Do you think Simi is playing well?
Got no rebuttal. I'm out. I'm doing the OJ, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because players, like I said, just like we are fans, players also watch other teams play as well. I remember Jude Bellingham, was talking about that Man City versus Liverpool game and commented on that game was fire. All I'm saying is that players and agents are seeing some of the same things that we're seeing. And if you're an agent, would you advise an Adeyemi or some other young talent to say, yeah, Liverpool's a good team and, Klopp is a good coach, but is that good for your development right now where you are in your career? Going there and sitting on the bench. That is my concern more than anything else. And I keep on saying this, that Jota thing, yes, Jota came last year when Firmino was in piss poor form. I mean, he was bad. So it's easy to make that decision. That's what I want you guys. Go ahead.
You know, Jam, the one thing that even though, again, I do agree with what you're saying makes perfect sense. And I think we all echo it to a degree. But when you look at a team like Barcelona back in the day, and you look at a team like maybe even like Man City or Chelsea now, Chelsea over the last even maybe 2 decades, they somehow would always find a way to sweeten the pot that the player wasn't really that bothered. He just knew he was going to get the opportunity and he had to take it. And I feel like that is where FSG are just a little bit unsupportive in the way of if the player has a little bit of a doubt, just sweeten the pot a little bit then.
But see, that's where I disagree with you because I'm not going to overpay you to compensate for you not playing.
But then you'll end up like Tottenham, Jamrock, where they've got no striker when Harry Kane gets injured, because if you're going to be like that, you've got to deal with the consequences. And the consequences are if Harry Kane's injured, they're fucked.
No, what I'm saying is that
you know what I mean? Like,
part of the reason why a team like a Chelsea or a Man City have players that are willing to be on, they're getting top-notch wages. So their money does factor into some of those decisions as well. And then Pep and Tuchel have a different personality than Klopp.
Well, you mean like more of a ruthless one?
Not necessarily more of a ruthless. They're more willing to share playing time to me versus Klopp. Even going back to the Borussia Dortmund, because that's my favorite team in the Bundesliga. Klopp has always had this mentality, and I never forget. Right before Klopp was supposed to get hired, Borussia Dortmund fans warned Liverpool fans that you guys are going to love Klopp. He's probably going to win a few league titles. He's probably going to win a few trophies, but he is going to burn your players out. And there's going to be a lot of injuries throughout his tenure.
I do remember that. But then, Jan, what you got to remember is, and this is why we call Klopp the best manager in the world, is he always has to go into the fight with one arm tied behind his back. And even if he does it on purpose because he likes to coach rather than buy, he's always going up against a superpower. True. And you got to remember, you see Tuchel, this is one of the reasons why I tell everyone to calm down on the Tuchel talk. It's not because I don't think he's a good manager, but it's because I feel like until he went to Chelsea, he hadn't achieved anything that made him stand out. And then even at Chelsea, you have to kind of look at that squad and how much it cost and think, well, he's kind of only doing what the squad is meant to do. And that's not to discredit him. But when Klopp is at Dortmund and he's playing with players who only cost 2 million and he's turning them into world beaters and then getting them stolen all the time, and he's constantly having to work with on a budget, and then at Liverpool kind of the same, he's maybe just got into a mindset where he can't just go and solve a problem and I'll back Cal on this one. Oh, I need a wing back. Actually, I need 2. I need 100 million. Just go and get me 2 wing backs. And he can just solve the problem. He knows he can't do that. Therefore, he kind of makes sure he grooms a player into a position like he did with Robertson. And then once he's got him, he's utilising him because he knows he ain't going to be able to just go and buy, I don't know, whoever the new 50 mil right back is, left back. Do you get what I mean? Like, so I agree there's things that make him look a bit weird in terms of, we've got Tsimikas now, bro, and he is trustworthy. Why aren't you trusting him? But at the same time, he's never allowed to have a squad where he can just lean on any position because the quality that FSG have given him in reserve is so good, we're almost struggling to even know who we should play, like how Man City do with their squad. But they don't even know who should play. They've got so many good players. So I think you've got to look at it from both angles, bro.
I do look at it at both angles, but I also look at history from Borussia Dortmund as well as currently. And that
Dortmund, he has no money either, though, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he has no money at Dortmund.
Yeah, but Klopp's preference is always going to be first to look at finding solutions from within. He said that on multiple occasions, right? So his first preference is going to try to find solutions from within, first and foremost. What I'm going to say is I'm going to read something to you because there was an interview that he did with James Pierce a few years back where he was saying a 22 to 23 man deep roster becomes too difficult to manage over a long season. And he says, how do I keep them motivated? I treat them all the same, 100%. You score 4 goals or no goals. And this is kind of contradicting to what he's doing right now. For me, you're the same person. When you talk about, where is it? I like them. Let me see if I can find the actual quote. Because I was reading it and I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I can't find it now. I'll try to message it to you guys when I find it. But he was basically saying, you can't just have people who are there to play only when somebody else gets injured. And he was talking about just players in general. He's not talking about like what do you call those people who are kind of like
which I kind of agree with, Jamrock, to a degree, because you got to treat them like people. We've said that a few times.
Bingo. That's what I was trying to allude to.
Yeah,
when we look at certain things,
yeah.
we look at things from Liverpool's perspective only. Like, yes, it would be good for Liverpool, right? We don't look at it from the player's perspective. Like, yeah, it would be good for Liverpool, but what about the player from the player's perspective? Because
I do, bro, because of Origi. And I can understand how frustrated he must be that he performs and then he gets thrown back into the cage.
I know. Last thing before I go, in regards to Origi, just because you hear me say that, I wouldn't mind selling Origi doesn't mean that I don't think he would be good enough somewhere else.
No, fair dude.
I just think Klopp clearly doesn't trust him. And for his own professional growth, he needs to make that move. The other reason why I said I would even sell Sadio Mane, it's not because I don't think he's good. I just don't think if you get someone like a Chiesa or someone at that top level, that either one of them are going to want to sit on the bench. That's why I'm willing to move on one to get another, because I don't think if you get a top quality like a Chiesa or, God forbid, an Mbappe, and it's going to be like, yeah, let's collect all his talent, and everyone is just going to be merry and cool with playing 8, 9, 10 games a season. That's not the real world. That's FIFA. People have emotions just like everyone else, players, right? So if you have any kind of ambition, you're not going to want to be sitting on the bench playing 10 games a season. You're just not.
It's a difficult one. It's actually a show in itself, to be fair. You know
I
what
know.
I mean? It's actually a show in itself. But big up as always, though, bro. Big up,
Stay
man.
blessed, fellas, and thanks for responding to me in regards to that Sadio Mane salary thing. I don't know where I think you were the one that responded to me in regards to that, or maybe it was Matt. I'm not sure. In regards
I think it was me, actually.
yeah, in regards to his,
Yeah.
it's not 100K. They just didn't update that website.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do a little. We'll dig a little deeper into that. I mean, look, I wanted to get a new contract, so we don't even have to worry about it anyway. So we'll see what's going on, innit?
Yeah, but if he's asking for Salah money,
That's
like,
crazy.
I'm sorry, like, you might have to go.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bless up, fellas.
Big up, bro.
That's
Big
up, bro.
Cameron, always
Alright.
a pleasure, bro.
All right, man.
Big up.
Take care. Next caller. Adnan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh.
How y'all doing? Yo, Drifty, I think I'm
Why
try
the
out for Rick
beard
Ross
is
in his
mad. I
biopic.
might have to go.
I'm the wrong complexion, bro. Oh, you, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, bro.
100%. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. So this kind of random, but I was just gonna say, have you guys noticed that there aren't as many bangers scored from outside the box these days? Because I was watching a Prem compilation from about like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and Essien, Gerrard, they were just like from 25, 30 yards. It seemed like almost every week we were scoring bangers. And I wanted to ask you guys if you think it's more of a system thing or if players don't have the same ability that they had. I think it may be because like teams are trying to walk it in more these days. And
No.
Oh, what?
Ah, man.
No.
What happened?
The connection was actually fine. It wasn't
No.
even. That
He
was
must have pressed
weird.
something.
That was so
No,
weird.
Adnan,
That was a shame,
Hold
man.
on. We got him back, I think. Yes, we got you back.
Adnan, you're
Oh.
back. Yes.
okay,
Yo,
cool.
let's
Yeah,
go.
my Wi-Fi is going out, so I'm just making it real quick. Yeah. So Thiago, he's been playing really well lately. I'm glad to see that he's back in form and hope he can keep it up in this busy period coming up. So yeah, that's my only question about the outside shots, and hoping Thiago can keep up his great form.
Big up as always,
100%.
man. We'll chop that up
Hey,
now,
big
bro.
up, man. Big up.
All right.
Big up, man.
Bless you, brother.
I think I'm big, bitch.
Larry Hoover.
Bro, when I see that beard, I'm just like, damn. Damn.
Do you know why I've got so much respect for him? Because I know how hard that must be to maintain. People, you don't just have a beard like that and like just live. You have to maintain that.
That is maintenance at the highest.
Yeah, that is proper
highest
maintenance. I'm not even
level.
gonna lie.
At the highest high grade. Different.
done, yeah?
Come back.
You
Yeah,
are.
come back.
No, there's no point me being in a room I can't contribute to, innit? No point me sitting in a room when I can't contribute.
Why has someone got to do? Why have you got to do programmer? Why? Why can't you just say the man had a great beard? Why have you got to say the version of me? Why?
So, his
Why?
question: outside the box bangers. You guys mind if I take this one first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've got my theory.
Why?
Go to.
I think it's system and a lack of quality. I can probably only pick out about 5 or 6 players who could consistently score from outside the box in the league. Whereas before, I think you could get 15, 20 maybe. But I would also say a system thing in, and I think even Pep Linders has spoken about this, or Klopp, shooting outside the box, the probability of you scoring is a lot lower than potentially crossing the ball into the box and having 3 or 4 people in there who could get to the ball. So I think it's both. But I do think if we had a Gerrard in this team, for example, then that gets thrown out the window because Gerrard's saying, well, who's stopping this from 25 yards out? Because I'll do this weekly if you give me the space and time. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think not only the system, Cal, I feel like it's a little bit greedy's probably not the right word, but these managers seem to just want possession. And having a shot is giving away possession, because if it doesn't hit the back of the net, then they get a goal kick and they've got the ball, right?
Well, they're saying that though. Klopp did let Coutinho shoot. It's not like he said
did he let Coutinho shoot, or was Coutinho smart enough to go against the grain and Klopp didn't say anything because he was good enough?
Nah, because Klopp don't play that. If you're going against the grain, then Klopp's going to drop you no matter who you are.
I think when you're that good.
Sorry, Matt, in case I forget, Wenger was a proper possession-based manager, and he's an elite manager. Forget the end. He's an elite manager. He would coach shooting out of players. He would actually turn players who were consistently scoring bangers and coach it out of them. You get what I mean? Thomas Rositzky is probably just an easy example to make.
Thomas Rositzky scored bangers, bro.
Bangers.
Very few in comparison to what he was doing when he was in Germany, though. Like, the point I'm making is, it's almost like he wanted possession to the point where, as you said, Cal, what's the probability? If we play boom, 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 pass and pull it back and have a tap in, we've got 82.8% chance of scoring. Whereas if you have a shot from here with the blah, 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 it's a 42%. Do you get what I mean? And it's like, statistics have come into it so much. It's almost how much they do. They even like put it into, as you're saying, like the tactics of like, don't shoot from here because the probability is this ball has to travel this far. But I feel like they've coached it out of players almost to a degree to do it. And freedom within the system, you're not allowed freedom anymore. Very few teams have a maverick where you go, all right, I tell you what, you can kind of go against the grain and kind of do what you feel like to a degree. Everyone's like, now you're here, regiment, robot, boom, 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 boom. And everyone's just got to like do what they're told kind of thing. There's no freedom left in football, to be honest.
I think there is freedom left in football. I just don't think it's as free as it could be before, because a lot of teams are better than they were before.
Maybe. I mean,
we've seen Salah pick up the ball against Man City and dubs up bare man and then score. So
let me ask you a little question. Am I wrong or right when I say this? I believe 10, 15 years ago, or even 20 years ago, every team had a world-class player in every position. Now, you can have top teams. So if you went into the Champions League and you had Inter Milan, Juventus, Bayern Munich, AC Milan, Liverpool, Chelsea, whatever. If you went through their spine, apart from the odd exception, every player in that position was world class.
I disagree.
I truly believe that was the case, personally.
I think that's nostalgia. It's like, even when you look at the Man United treble winning team, every player in that team weren't world class.
No, the spine. A player in each position. So they had a world-class defender, world-class midfielder, world-class striker, and their goalie was pretty much world-class. Not every player on the pitch. And it don't even have to be the spine down the middle, but there was a world-class player in every department of the pitch. I personally believe that was the case. I think if I go through all those teams over the decades, every player, every position, midfield, forward, defense, and goalie, had a world-class player in that position.
Could you not argue that is the case still now, though?
No.
For a lot of teams.
Nah, bro, I'll be honest with you. There's loads of teams now that don't have a world-class player in every position, and they're a top team. In my opinion, like straight away off the bat, Juventus, their goalie is below.
Yeah, but they're not a top team anymore. They're ninth in the league.
They are, bro. Juventus are a top team.
They are,
bro. They won their domestic league in the last 2 years, bro. They're a top team.
Leicester won it in the last 2 years, a couple of years back, brother, and they weren't a top team.
No, but that's an anomaly, bro.
I hear
that. With 7 leagues in a row.
No, but we talk about now, though, Drift. We can't talk about there's 7 leagues in a row. We've got to speak about them as a now.
Bro, in the last 24 months, they've won the title.
Yeah, but
they are a top team, bro.
Right now, they're sitting 9th.
I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, that's too much recency bias. Like, in the last 24 months, Juventus won the league, bro.
No, but you say recency bias would say Inter Milan.
But how far do we go back then? How far do we go back?
We always go back 24 months when we're talking about form. So with a team, wouldn't it be the same thing?
Not if we're talking about right now, though.
So you don't think if we went through the top 15 teams or top 10 teams in world football, Juve would get in there?
They can't, bro. They're ninth in their league.
Yeah, but come on, man. We was dwindling in whatever position last season, and nobody was like. We all knew we were still a top team. Like everyone goes through a blip, or you know what I mean. Like I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think every team now has a world-class player in every position. Whereas back in the day, I think they did. So I think talent is a little bit more scarce than it used to be in that regard as well. I'm just that's just my opinion.
Or maybe teams have all risen, or players have all risen to a level now. Because again, back in the day, we would have seen players who were skillful. You've got someone like Pedro Neto and Rafinha who are at Leeds and Wolves respectively, who are two of arguably the most skillful players in the league. Before they would have been at a Man United or a Chelsea or an Arsenal. Whereas now it's spread out throughout the league.
Only in England.
No,
the other top clubs.
Vlahovic is
really
a Fiorentina, bro.
Yeah, but Vlahovic's potential. We still can't just sit and act like he's like a world beater. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but that's my point. No, even still at that age, Vlahovic would have been at a top team by now. Whereas players are staying at their team, like Haaland at Dortmund, for example. Haaland would have been snapped up a long time ago. Buendia was at Norwich. Shout out to Kieran B. Like Danny Ings.
I mean, maybe I am being nostalgic, but I don't think there's anywhere near as much talent in the world now as there was back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there was just way more talent, in my opinion. But
Genie Houdini says, on Klopp choosing to problems within if we were raised to change a tire your whole life because you can't afford roadside, when you finally get insurance, your first instinct when your car breaks down is to change the tire. It's a good analogy, to be fair. That's a good analogy.
Big up.
Can't disagree with that.
Well. Yeah. Love for the super chat, bro.
Francis says Juventus won the same league, Liverpool won the EPL. Juventus are a top team, and stop comparing them with Leicester. Oh, context, man. You just heard my whole conversation there. I did not compare them once to Leicester. With all due respect, I'm not going to go back and forth with that, because if you heard everything I said there, you'll know I didn't compare them to Leicester. We just spoke about context in the show, man. Come on, man. Flip.
Like, I'm not getting involved.
Listen to what I say. Listen to the whole thing of what I say rather than just picking out a snippet and then spinning it. Come on, man. Bloody hell. Next caller. Jamal, welcome to the show, please.
Hi, guys. Hi. Are you good?
Not too bad, bro. How are you?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah. So I want to talk about Tottenham, but I'm just gonna say my two questions. Yeah, I'm just gonna say my two questions for you guys now. The two question is, after hearing what Jifty said about Salah earlier, I just want to know what's your top 5 Liverpool right now in the squad most technically gifted players. I want you all to get your own top 5. It'll be interesting to see who your
That's
top
definitely
5
gonna get techie. All right, cool.
Yeah, and the next one is, guys, if when Sanchez leave Barcelona, you know he was coming to Liverpool, right? And he just choose Arsenal.
Yeah, he wanted to live in London. Yeah.
Yeah. If he went to Liverpool, what do you guys feel will happen? What did the future look like for Liverpool? Would Sterling have stayed? Would Rodgers have still been in charge? Will we have get Salah or Mane? I just want you guys to know how you think it would have been if he actually went to Liverpool. Yeah, that's my 2 questions.
Cool.
So yeah, guys, I just want to talk about Spurs. Guys, these guys are bad. You know they lost a team who was created in 2012, right? The team was created in 2012.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I almost choose Tottenham when I was growing up to support, because I'm going to show my age here, but I'm a big fan of Berbatov. And when I was growing up, I was really a big fan of Berbatov. And I kind of supported Spurs a little bit, but then I see Torres and the whole thing changed. But guys, imagine Jeffrey, like if you was a Spurs fan, would you enjoy football? I mean, what's the joy in
Listen, would you enjoy football?
You know what, Jamal? Yeah, I'll be real. Anytime I get a question like that, I just remember the Hodgson days, and I think, hell no.
Yeah, because all right, guys, put yourself in Spurs. Imagine if this was called Spurs-ish. I don't know what's the name. Imagine if you guys are Spurs fans. What would have been the joy of football? Because bro, they don't win nothing. Arsenal are trash and still laughing at you, and you just always embarrass yourself. I mean, Jeff,
I'm
with
feeling it for
supporting,
George right now.
yeah,
So much.
with supporting Spurs be detrimental to your health, Jeffy? As much as you care about Liverpool, if you was a Spurs fan, how it would have been? I just want
And
to hear
brother,
you.
Liverpool is detrimental. Bro, if I was a Spurs fan, I might all be in
Nah, if you're a
intensive care,
Spurs
bro.
fan, if you're a Spurs fan, you're just in for a whole lot of disappointment. I can't even
Bare
lie. That's a
palpitations,
lot.
bro.
That's a lot of disappointment.
I wouldn't even
Think
call
about
it I'm having a heart attack. I'll call it I'm having a Spursy. I'll be like, ah!
The best player wanting to leave last season. He gets handcuffed to the desk. He can't
Yeah,
move. They bring in
yeah,
another. They have their manager who they believed in. He
yeah,
ruffles a few feathers. They bring in the next man, the man that we all know is a very good manager. And after a game the other day where he loses against any team that you'd find on a whiteboard, he then goes, "Yeah, the team's they're just not up to scratch." You're like, well, if you're a Spurs fan,
yeah,
no disrespect, you're gonna be upset because you're like, well, we brought in a great manager, we brought
yeah,
in a director of football, and yet it still looks like they're a long way away from winning trophies, like a
yeah,
long way away. And what's so mad is, was having a debate, and I was like, do you know what? Even with Conte, I think you might have said it, Jiff, and he said even a dig, but you might have said, oh, I think Spurs might win a trophy. And even still, they can still win. They might win it. They might win something. But I was like, they need transfer windows to kind of like
yeah,
rectify the mistakes that they've made because they've got too many. They've got way too many. Like some of their players are just not good enough.
yeah.
And I think that's just
It's in the
how
mentality, and I think Conte will change
Yeah.
that. So I still believe Conte will get them right.
he will get them right, but they need massive
But
change.
if we was a Tottenham channel, I think I'd want us to be called Tottish rather than Spursish. I don't know if I like the word
I said
Spursish.
Tottish.
Tottish. It sounds like
Yeah.
Totty, innit? I like it. Tottish.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said
I like it.
Tottish.
And still on Spurs, I just want to say, I see you guys like a big fans of Lucas Moura because I watched the show yesterday. But guys,
I
would
like
you
him,
say-
man.
I'm not a
yeah,
big
would-
fan. He's good,
Yeah.
but I'm not a big fan, Jamal. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna say I see he's very similar to Jetta. I don't know if you guys see that because they are both short. They have a supreme leap for headers, and I don't know, they're very frustrating as well because I love Jetta, but sometimes I mean it's simple pass Jetta mess up sometimes, and I'm like, bro, that was a simple pass or his decision making. So I just want to know if you guys see very similar attributes between Mora and Jetta.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so
All right,
that's
bro.
what-
Big up as always, brother. Big up as
Big
Yeah,
up,
always.
bro. Big up, man.
Big up, bro.
Big
Thank
up.
you. Anas says, you guys see the Klopp and reporter clash over Afcon. We did, Anas. We did cover that at the beginning of the show, though.
Yeah,
So
we did.
may have to ask you to go back and watch that, please, brother. But we definitely spoke about that. And yeah, we've got some quite strong views on it. So might be something you might want to go back and watch, bro. All right, let's start with the last question. Jota and Mora, what are you guys saying? Do you see a comparison there?
No.
No.
For me, no.
I get where Jamal's coming from in terms of they're both short. They are way better in the air than they should be. I mean, that kind of thing, but they're not the same type of player now. Jota's in the box player, more as a dribbler. I would say they're actually very different as actual players.
And I'll add to that quickly. I think Jota's more complete. And I also feel like as well, where Moura stagnated, Jota's getting better. And yes, I agree with Jamal that he can misplace the pass. You're like, what happened there? But he's getting better. Like it's gonna happen. But I think Jota's kind of getting at them teething problems where Lucas Moura, I feel like when is it ever gonna be that time where you shine? Where I feel like Jota's on the cusp of like doing something magical.
He did do it the last season under Poch, Matt. Though, so to cut you more.
Well,
he had a really good season that year
in the Champions League run.
In Champions League, not in the
Premier
Premier.
No, but just in general, and I mean Champions League's the highest level. So,
but for me, Moura, I've always said very sporadic, bro. Moura will have games. You're like, yeah, it's amazing, but not consistent. For me, Jota was way more consistent than Moura. Jota was consistent up until the injuries, and even then, he kind of showed his thing. Moura for me has always been one of them players where it's like he does it here and there. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, don't get me wrong, Jeff, I agree with you. Champions League, he kind of rose to the occasion, but I want consistency, and I see that from Jota. And I think as well, Jota's got more to his game. Moura. What's so mad is if you didn't know Lucas Moura's age, I would say to you, Lucas Moura plays like he's still 21 years of age, like he's still got learning to do, and I feel like he shouldn't be at that stage of his career.
Acebet Limited says to Chelsea fans, if Reece James is better than Trent, why is it always Trent the one who's always being told to come outside? Very true. Also, Mendy makes easy saves look hard. Alisson makes hard saves look easy.
I agree with that. Acebet's been spitting facts all day, bro.
I don't agree with the Mendy one. I do agree with the Alisson thing. Mendy has been bloody fantastic.
No,
I hate bigging up Chelsea.
serious.
You have to understand. I hate bigging up Chelsea.
He has been fantastic, but I still need another 12 months before he's going in the category with Stegen and Alisson, and the goalies have been doing it for 3, 4, 5 years now. He's not getting one patch of form over about an 8-month period and then going in the category with them, man.
All right, but can I ask you something, Drift? When we signed Alisson, we put him in that category straight away, pretty much.
Remember, I had my doubts about Ali. Remember?
After one season, Alisson was in that talk still.
Yeah, because he debunked the worries that I had after performing for 2 levels at the highest level.
But Mendy's been quality pretty much since January last year.
I disagree with that. I think Mendy's been brilliant this season and was good last year. Last year he was good. I'm not going to go as far as he's got 5 players in front of him, and this is the Ramsdale thing again. I need a little bit longer.
No, I'll say this: when Mendy came to the Prem, I think a lot of people didn't really know much about him because he come from Rennes. Not only that, people are like, "Oh, you're the new Chelsea goalkeeper. Let's see what you're about." I can't lie to you. Going to a team like Chelsea, obviously a big team in Europe, he answered the call, bro. Like, he's done what he's supposed to do. He's got on clean sheets, and yes, he plays in front of a back 99, however plays you want to put, yeah. But there are times when Chelsea still get peppered. I've seen it, bro. Where Mendy's had to pull out a save here and there, and it's like, remember what we always say about goalkeepers? It's not about how many saves you make. It's about that one save. Are you switched on when it really counts? And he does do that as well, bro. And he's very commanding. I think for me, I don't even like saying it, but I have to give man his flowers, bro. I can't discredit my man.
Cold.
I'm not discrediting him, bro. I'm not discrediting him. I'm saying I need a bit longer.
And for me, he surpassed expectations that I think anybody have for him. And
he didn't have expectations, bro. Let me
land. Not even that. You have to give man credit. They're going for a title. They won a Champions League. You can't just say, "Oh, their attack." Because remember, their attack weren't even on fire last year. Remember, they had an attack. They had Timo missing, not Timo Werner. They had Timo missing. They were under the cosh a lot of times last season. You know, remember they had Frank first, then they had to figure it out. Then they got Tuchel in. Mendy done his thing. You have to give man props. I'm not saying.
I never said I'm not giving him props, bro.
No. I'm just saying
it needs to happen for longer.
What I'm going to say is this: I'm not saying he's the best in the world, Drift, but you cannot say he doesn't enter the conversation when we talk about best goalkeeper in the Prem, and not only that, on form, and I say on form, one of the top 5 goalkeepers in the world. Like, you're on form. Because what he's doing,
if that's how you want to do it, that's cool.
in. That's how he's walked in.
No, if that's how you want to do it, it's cool. I'm just, like I said, people think that I'm being a hater or whatever. I'm not. I'm just saying Tuchel came in, went very defensive. It's made all of their players look good, and I think half of those players look very poor in a back 4, or they look average in a back 4, like they did before Tuchel came. So I just need a bit longer. And I'm not a fan of that back 5, and I feel like a back 5 is a very protective formation. And I just feel like I need a little bit longer before I make my assessment.
Really playing a back 5 though, Drift.
Under Lampard, Mendy looked average. He looked good because he was taken over from Kepa, and Kepa was whack. Even Chelsea fans themselves are like, you know what, he's good, and we're just happy he's better than Kepa. Under Tuchel, he's looked really good, but it has been a system that's designed to protect him and the defense. Like Thiago Silva, you lot know he's one of my favorite defenders of all time. If he plays in the back 4, he's not still kicking ball the way he is now. He'll be exposed and there'll be problems. Back 5s help players and help defenders and goalies look a bit better. That's all I'm saying.
Depends on how you're utilising the back 3, Drift.
bro, a back three is always more helpful to the defense than a back two.
It's not always
No.
helpful.
For me, a back three.
It is, bro. There's a
is
reason
right.
they're playing a back. You play a back five. I'm gonna
To
be
get the
real.
best
You
out of
play
your
a back
players,
five.
Drift.
You play a back five, yeah. Call me ignorant if you want. I'm fine, but this is
They're
my
not playing
opinion.
a back five, Drift.
You play a back five.
They're not
when
playing
you
a back
don't.
five.
They are, bro. They're playing with wing backs. Of course, they're playing a back five.
Why did Tuchel come out the other day and say that James and whoever's on the left back they're not defenders, they're my midfielders?
Bro, he's gonna everybody knows if you're playing 3-5-2,
I'm going to show you.
wide players
let me show you this.
are tucking in to help defend.
I'm going to show you a super chat. So after this one, so Jamrock says Torres might be leaving City for Barcelona. That'd be a silly move.
Yeah,
for
somebody
Torres.
put that up.
Yeah, Ferran Torres.
Ash has just said James is Italian, but interesting stat I've seen today was in the first 12 games, his average position during the 90s is higher than that of Mane's. Bro, he's not playing in a back five, bro.
I've seen the picture.
No, I know he's bombing forward because that's part of why you have that's why they play that position. But the point is, even if they're not playing a back five and they're playing a back three, bro, five in midfield is still a protective situation to the defense, even if you want to look at it like that, because there's five midfielders across the pitch to help to protect the back three,
bro.
Bro, you only play three at the back, and again, if I'm wrong, then I will accept I'm wrong. Or if you believe differently, then that's completely fine with me. But in my opinion, you play a back three or a back five, whichever way you want to look at it, where you have defenders who aren't good enough to play in a two. For me, that is just simple facts. If you've got two world-class centre-backs, you don't play a back three, whichever way you want to look at it. Maybe Italian Italian managers based on a philosophy that is very rooted in Italian culture. But in general, you only play a back three if you don't trust the players you have because they're not good enough to play as a pair. That's my opinion. And I think if Chelsea had two world-class centre-backs, because Tuchel hasn't played a back three that often in his managerial career. So how comes he's come Chelsea and he's done it?
He played it at PSG.
Because PSG's defence wasn't good, Cal. This is what I'm saying. At Dortmund, he weren't playing a back three.
Pep's done it at Man City.
Not very often.
When he had wingbacks,
now he's got three or four quality centre backs, Cal. He has not played a back three. If you don't trust your defenders, you go back three. And again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's just my opinion.
Did it at Tottenham.
Because they didn't have good defenders, Cal. You're
proving my point. At their peak, bruv.
And he was playing a back two when he had those. That's why Sanchez went on the bench, Cal. Bro, and then when Sanchez they started underperforming, he brought Sanchez in. Bro, listen, it's up. I'm not gonna argue because I'm not even saying I'm right. This is just my opinion. Conte was at Chelsea in a back four. He got spanked about 2-3 times and went, "Now fuck this." Went to a back three. They won the league because they were more. David Luiz was like a world beater in a back three. You put David Luiz in a back four and a two, and he's not the guy. It is a protective formation for inadequate centre backs or centre backs that aren't as good as they should be. That's my opinion. I'm just saying.
Protective depending on who's playing it. You can't just give blanket statements and
have you ever seen a back
teams.
three with three world-class centre backs in it?
So all right, so how many goals have Chelsea scored this season?
No, but Cal, have you ever seen a back three with three world-class centre backs in it?
Probably not off the top of my head, no.
There you go then, bro. I'm just saying.
But that doesn't.
You don't play a back three if you've got world-class centre backs.
So just because you've got a back three doesn't say ultimately that your goalkeeper is getting away with it though.
No, I'm not. No, but
so we can't take credit away from him.
No, but I feel like you're a little bit more protected. As a goalkeeper, you're just a little bit more protected.
Why are you more protected?
Because
he's facing more shots. But he's facing more shots than we probably face.
But he's not facing more shots than he did when he was under other regimes at other stages of his career.
No, but that's
it's
not
the most
point,
protected he's been in his career. It's making him look better. I just need to see it for a little bit longer.
If he's facing more shots than we are facing with a back four, how is he more protected?
No, more protected than he was previously. So I need to make sure that I give him a little bit longer to prove that this is ability. Bro, I watched Mignolet at Sunderland getting peppered and looking brilliant. It's what made Liverpool buy him. Sometimes you can look better when you're getting peppered because you're making a lot of saves and it makes you look better.
We bought Mignolet because that's the best we could have bought at the time.
No, because he looked good. No, Begovic was actually the best we could have got. But Mignolet looked good because he was getting peppered every week and he was making great saves.
It's just my opinion.
We'll agree to disagree.
No, Cal, because I'm not even saying what I'm saying is a fact. So you're right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's just my opinion, isn't it? Like, my opinion is that a goalie playing with a 3 in front of him is a bit more protected, especially with the 5 in midfield that then protect the 3 at the back. And I believe that a 3 at the back is what you play when you don't trust the defenders that you have. That's my opinion.
Fair enough. Christian said top 5 techs in order is Thiago, Bob, Trent, Naby, and Mane. Who have you guys got as your top 5 technical?
In no order. I'm not even gonna look at the screen.
I think he might have a point though. I'm trying to think if there's anyone that Chris.
All right, in no order.
I don't agree with that personally.
All right,
maybe Salah over Naby.
All right, in no order. I'm going most technical. Bobby Firmino, Thiago, Trent, Salah, and Virgil van Dijk.
I've got Thiago, Salah, VVD, Trent, and Firmino.
So say that again, but you said that so quick. I didn't.
Sorry, in order, I've got Thiago. This is in order: Thiago, Trent, Salah, VVD, Firmino.
It's the same 5 as mine, isn't it?
But that's mine in order.
If you're actually putting them in order, I totally disagree. There's no way Salah's more techie than Firmino.
Someone just put Firmino more.
Firmino's arguably our most technically gifted player, Cal.
I think Thiago's Firmino's probably our prettiest looking player, but I don't think he's technically.
Firmino's more techie than Salah.
Lucky, no disrespect, bro.
He's more techie than Van Dijk as well.
But this is where we'll disagree when it comes to technique and stuff, though, Drift.
Yeah, I believe Firmino's our most technical player. Thiago's the only one I'll have an argument about. But again, it's opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going Mane, Salah, Trent, Thiago, Bobby. In no particular order. That's just my 5.
And if Sanchez had signed for us instead of Lambert, Balotelli, Markovic, and them, man,
would have continued where we left off.
Do you genuinely believe that?
Yeah, I think Sanchez would have come in and done exactly what Suarez.
I think Alexis would have done a Suarez thing, not on the same level, but he would have tried to replicate, and I think we would have been way.
It would have been good enough to continue to keep us right up there, and we wouldn't have Klopp now because Brendan would have never got sacked.
Fair dues.
That's my opinion. Anyway.
We wouldn't have plummeted like that. Put like that. The next season when I'm trying to think what we just don't think about, but
yeah, that next.
Don't think about the piano playing Man United, Sanchez. Think about the one who actually.
Yeah. The one that was at Arsenal that was just going mad.
Cold.
Yeah, he was disgusting, and he was very similar, Cal. That's why I believe we could have continued the same because he was small, robust, strong, energetic, could play for days, never got injured, and I think we could have continued to play the exact same way.
Yeah.
Only thing you didn't have about Suarez was a clinicalness. Suarez is more clinical than him, but he kind of had all the other attributes that Suarez had, to be honest.
Yeah, fair dues. Ash said, boys, I told you in August Liverpool needed to get Vinicius Jr. and all 3 of you embarrassed me and shot me down. Kid is special, but never mind.
I still don't really jump on the hype.
I'm gonna be real. These man, I know them two that they don't really rate, man, and I didn't at the time, but I've seen the growth of Vinicius, and I'm gonna say this: what he's doing so far is absolutely sensational. If he does it again for another 12 months. I'm not gonna lie to you, he's proven a lot of people wrong because he had technique, he's got flair, he's got explosiveness, but it was always about end product and not even that his decision making. But I think the more he's matured and the more he's played, it's just gotten better and better and gone from strength to strength. So I fully understand where he's coming from. I know you man don't disagree, but Vinny Jr. is doing a lot right now. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot. And I've been watching Real Madrid closely this season. So
big up Sammy every time. He's a Real Madrid fan. Up until this season, me and him have conversations all the time, and he was like, "Nah, Vinny's he's just not good." I'm not gonna he knew he was talented, but he just wasn't good. He weren't performing, whatever.
I think he needs more time to prove that he's turned it around.
Fair dues. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Lord Walker says Alisson is a sweeper keeper and brings more to the table. I just want to be clear. None of us here believe that Mendy's better than Alisson, by the way.
No, never said
just,
that at all.
Like, just to be clear on that. All right, cool. A-Spec says Chelsea's wing backs play high up, but when they defend as a 5. Kante and J5. That's what Drifty's saying.
Yeah, they're very protected. That's what I'm getting at.
Fair enough. I mean, that's probably a show in itself, to be honest.
Oh, but I'm talking about them for an hour.
No, I'm talking about tactics.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't want to talk about Chelsea.
I'm not going to do a show about Chelsea.
I don't want to talk about Chelsea for an hour, bro. Oh my God.
No. I know.
Shout out ads each and every time. I love ads, but Chelsea, nah, bro. Like, I love Lewis as well. It's mad. Like, I hate when I like a Chelsea fan, but I don't like this team. You know what I mean?
Lord Walker says Thiago Rudiger trying to be VVD and Matic would be funny.
It'd be hilarious.
No.
It would be hilarious, I'm telling you. Before he played in the back three, everybody wanted Rudiger out the door.
No, they didn't drift. Lampard just did.
Cal, they did. They wanted him. Chelsea fans wanted him out, bro.
They didn't
No,
drift.
they didn't, bro. They were mad that he wasn't playing, bro.
Them Chelsea fans love Rudiger.
All right, cool, man, cool. What about Christensen? They didn't like him either.
I don't know about him.
I don't know about Christensen.
Apparently he's a baller now, though, right?
Well, Lewis has always rated him, so again.
I'm just saying.
Aldrin, welcome to the show.
Hi there, guys. How you doing?
Not too bad, bro.
What's happening, bro?
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
I'm going to do something a bit different. I want you guys to choose a year for me. Like, I got 3 years, 1998, 1999, and 2000. So if Carl come with you, which year would you like?
I'll go 99.
Okay. Drifty, and you?
If I think I know where you're going to go, I'm going to go 98.
Matt, unfortunately, you 2000. So Drifty, what I done is basically all the football players born in 1998, I made a team for you. So the keeper is Kelleher.
Kelleher?
Right? Kelleher, yes.
Yeah.
Is that when he was born? Okay, cool.
Trent is right back. Makan and Kunde as your centre backs. René Lodi as your left back. Team Koop Myers is your DM. For Valdi and Hossam as your midfielders. Ismail Assar, Kylian Mbappe, and Pedro Goncalves for Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be hard to remember, but okay, yeah, cool.
Maybe Carl should have written it down, but sorry, Carl. Carl, your team is...
So who's my left back again, bro?
René Lodi from Atletico Madrid.
Okay, cool.
Lodi,
yeah, cool.
Carl, your team is Donnarumma, a goalkeeper.
Good.
Reece James as your right back.
Who, sorry?
Reece James.
Cool, I can live with that.
The left and Ibu as your centre backs.
Yeah.
Tariq Mitchell as your left back from Crystal Palace. I think so. Declan Rice as your DM.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz and João Felix as your centre mids.
Okay.
Bloody hell.
Musi Peabe, Rafael Leao, and Darwin Nunes.
Who is the front three again, sorry?
Musi Peabe from Bayern Leverkusen. And Rafael Leao, that left wing of AC Milan.
Yeah.
And Darwin Nunes.
Cool. From Benfica.
Your goalkeeper is the Leeds goalkeeper. I can't pronounce his name. I'm going to butcher his name, his surname. Marcelia.
Who, sorry?
From Leeds. Messier.
Oh, Messier. Yeah, from Leeds. Yeah.
Decent keeper still.
Yeah, he's decent.
So, Junior Test. Right back.
Yeah, from Barca.
Fofana and Botman as your centre backs.
Oh, Fofana and Botman. All right. Yeah, go.
As your left back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you, bro.
Who's the left back, bro?
Alfonso Davies.
Bad boy. Yeah, go on. What's next, bro? What's next?
I think I'm gonna butcher the Monaco's DM. Too many.
Tuchemi
Yeah.
for Monaco, yeah?
Okay,
Tuchemi,
Tuchemi.
yeah? Bad boy.
Too
Yeah.
many. Paul Foden and Conor Gallagher.
Phil Foden and Conor Gallagher, yeah? So Tuchemi, Phil Foden and Conor Gallagher, yeah?
Problems still.
Ferran
Yeah.
Torres.
Ferran
Pedro
Torres,
Neto.
Pedro Neto, yeah. What?
Haaland,
So,
Haaland.
and Holland up
Haaland.
front.
Oh, Matt's
Yep.
gone.
If the conversation is what team's gonna win,
Yeah,
Matt
Matt's
smokes us. I'm not gonna lie.
But guys, great show so far and enjoy it even further.
No, bless
Yeah,
you, bro.
no, big up, bro. Big up. That
Great.
was
Thanks for
fun
doing
still.
that as well, bro.
Yeah,
That
give
was
Matt
really
another
Big up,
win.
bro.
You gave Matt another
Oh,
win there, bro.
the haters want to hate. When you're great, my word. I mean, damn.
I
mean, the people are making their votes. I mean, I'm not saying anything. I'm not typing.
Matt, brother, this is not
Yeah,
even
no,
voting team,
Matt,
you just won, bro.
Matt. Although I'm not gonna lie, Cal's midfield was naughty though.
Do you know what's so mad? Yeah, I didn't even pick. You lot picked years. I didn't even say nothing.
Do you know
I just
what?
sat back.
I thought he was gonna talk about teams that were successful in that year, and so I wanted the Arsenal '98 team.
I just sat back.
When Cal got 99, I thought that was gonna be Man United.
Yes,
so I wanted the Arsenal '98 double winning team.
When you said
the 2000 team was Man United, I think, and I'm like, oh fuck that team.
Gamrock says Matt and Drifty, who's having a better season, Daka, DePaul, or Marlon?
Daka,
DePaul, or Marlon?
Marlon is not doing nothing.
Probably
it's Daka.
It's probably Daka.
Probably Daka. Oh no, but DePaul is playing every week though.
Yeah, he's not playing very well though.
He's not.
I mean, we can't just talk about we smoked them. He's been all right in the league.
I'll say it's between DePaul and Daka, but I'll probably edge it to Daka, but only because of Daka's had some stand-up performances maybe in the Europa. But if we're talking Prem, Daka ain't done nothing. Like he's done nothing.
I'll go DePaul, you know. I'd actually go DePaul.
So
we made him look stupid, but I think he's been better overall.
I think DePaul. It's out of them two. I don't know. It's out of them two.
Lord Walker says consensus top 5 right backs and G in order in Prem and goalkeeper. I'm taking it.
Top 5.
I think we might have to do that as a separate show.
Yeah, that's
that will take a little while. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'll write that down, though.
Yeah. Although off the top of my head, it would be Reece, Trent, Walker. Would be the top 3.
Cancelo.
And then,
what about Cancelo? Or you kind of see him as left back? Yeah.
Both like he plays. He's all over the place, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like he plays where he wants. He's so good, so it's kind of hard to. But obviously, he's definitely in the top 5. Actually, he's probably the best in general. But he has played left back quite a lot this season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
big up to our brother KG, the comedian.
Hey,
KG in the building. Drop the bomb for KG, bro.
Hold on, I've got to read out the rest of the super chat. You might not get a bomb still.
He gets a bomb for being KG, bro.
Man said he's praying for Afcon, you know.
Yeah, man, let the haters hate.
The Ralph error is now.
He wants our players to go missing.
You know KG's gas now that they're getting Ralph in it.
He wants our players to go missing.
And by the way, bro, no, Wan-Bissaka's not getting in there, bro.
Nice. No. Come on, KG. We love you, bro. But Wan-Bissaka top 5?
Nah, that can't run. And we're still celebrating Ollie Day around there as well, bro.
That day's continuous, bro.
Trust.
Sound of the 75. Welcome to the show.
Am I audible?
You are indeed, brother.
Yes, sweet. What's going on?
All good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, big man.
Bless, bro.
How you doing? All good. So I have 2 questions, potentially 3. So the first one, I think this is more in terms of like when discussions on like young players are happening, and Trent, something I've noticed is that when it's a discussion on his quality, people usually try and counter it with like, can he do it under a different manager? Can he do it in a different position? Can he do it in a different system, and I've never actually heard the same energy in terms of like when people speak about Reece James, even Cancelo, even Lamptey, like all young like fullbacks. I've never heard the same energy, even from like previous generation fullbacks like Marcelo, Dani Alves. I've never heard anyone question whether they could play under different managers or different systems or in different positions. I've never heard it. Only when it comes to Trent. So I want to know like what your guys' opinion is. Why people usually have that. I think for me, I think it's like testament to how much quality he has because he's like had a rapid growth. Like if you see the numbers he's getting now, it's crazy. So yeah, for me, I think usually when you set expectations for yourself, now it's about keeping up. And now people usually have a standard for you. I think he set a standard for himself now where people are just like now the only like argument to like just be negative about him. The same thing happening with Salah, especially with the expectation he sets for himself. So I want to know what you guys' opinion is on that. And the second question is, how long do you think it will take for like Manchester City to become like an elite football club? Like how many years do you reckon it would take for them to be fully recognized? Because they've had no success like in Europe. So I think if they don't like have any European success, I don't think you can be classed as an elite football club. So I'm wondering like um them too to be fair. Yeah, but I'd class them as a way bigger club in terms of like in terms of the fan base, what they've won, the history, and all that. I think that also comes into consideration. So, how long do you think it will take? For me, I think it'll probably take like 20 years because their success has been a huge factor based on like the financial gain that they've had as well. So, I think for a club like Manchester City, it's really hard because I think there is an asterisk on their name. Like they've pretty much had little to no history. So I think it would take a long time for them to be like recognized fully as an elite club, especially if they don't have any European success.
Yeah, man.
And last question I have is like for me, I think a lot of football fans usually become sour towards fans that's like support multiple teams. So I want to know what you guys like your opinion is of fans that support like multiple teams. Because I think usually for some people that live in different countries, because I live in South Africa, and trust me, like the football here is like it's light years behind like European, South American football, and I'd say even like the North American football. I think it's like in my country, like the football is like below standard. So I think it's easier for people like us to like support like multiple teams. Let's say we'll support like Liverpool, and then in another league we'll support like a Real Madrid or Barcelona. So I want to know what your opinion is of like fans that support like multiple teams. What your opinion is on that. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Cool, man.
No,
Good questions, man.
Great
Big up,
questions.
bro.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks.
Big up. It's your debut as well, bro. So big up, man. Big up.
No, I've been.
No, he's been
I
on
think
before.
twice.
You've been on before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
Appreciate it.
Big up,
Thanks.
Big at
Cheers.
yourself, bro.
man. I need that cow memory.
To answer Trent question, Trent's the standard. And here's where I throw it back, especially to Man United fans who say that. Do we have that same energy for Scholes, Giggs as well? Because you guys consider Scholes to be better than Gerrard and Lampard. He only played under Fergie. And Giggs as well.
Well, bro, here's the thing. I mean, we spoke about this before, right? If you want to be the best in whatever position it is, you're always compared to a Liverpool player. So straight away, we're the standard. People can hate what they want. They don't compare them to any other team. They compare them to Liverpool.
City got a couple man as well.
Yeah, but I still feel like they're still more compared to Robertson. No, I'm not saying that they ain't got people who are better, but like it seems to be like a left back conversation comes in. Oh, he's better than Robertson. Why are you talking about Robertson, bro? Because you psychologically know he's the best left back and has been. Trent, you get what I mean? Like they always Van Dijk, they always pick on a Liverpool player. DM is maybe the only one they don't because Kante, defensively has been elite for so long, but it's kind of still even been a little bit Flacco to a degree. Like, there's always a comparison. Who's the best captain? Oh, Henderson. It's always a Liverpool player. They're always comparing him to a Liverpool player. So that's that. That's out there. That's the let the haters hate. But what that comes down to, bro, is what I was trying to say, where if people want to talk about our players are only system players, this is where I'm coming up with that conversation about Chelsea, not to go back to it, but just the thingy. Those players were poor under Lampard. And yes, you need a better coach. Ollie proved that you can have a good squad, but you've got to have coaching as well. I get that. And obviously, I know that as a football fan. But Tuchel's put a system in place now that these players are playing well in. Those same players weren't playing well before Tuchel came in. So are they system players then? Because we've got to look at this, and this is what I'm saying, is Christensen, are all these players system players then? Because them are looking good at Chelsea now, but they were the same team and they weren't looking good. Do you get what I mean? I think majority of footballers you can go, are they system players? It's quite a weak argument to put a player down. All you've got to do is look at how long they can do it within that system, and then you look at their longevity and their consistency, and then you just rate them that way. That's what I said. If Mendy does this for another 12 months, then I'll rate him. Because it's not a hating thing. I know he's a good goalie, but I've got to watch it for a bit longer. Reece James, let's keep it $150. Reece James had a period where he came through and he looked good. Then he fell the fuck off. He's good again now under Tuchel. Well, all of a sudden, does that make him great? Trent's been doing it consistently for 4 or 5 years. Let's draw the line here. Is everyone a system player then? You said it perfectly, Cal. Was Beckham a system player? Was Scholes,
I wasn't even saying the system because Sound of 75 said, well, he's only doing it under one manager. Other players have done it.
Same thing.
No one says about Scholes. So.
Well, I guess under one manager will kind of be system, as in they'll learn that manager's system. Then I guess I'm just saying, man. Like Chelsea is a perfect example with their players performing way better now under Tuchel. Maybe the system is why they're playing better. Maybe they weren't good in a different system. Because even under Tuchel, if Leicester don't get riddled of injuries, Chelsea didn't even get in the top 4 last season. Like, a lot of people are forgetting that Tuchel had half the year with them still. So I'm just saying, maybe the system is why these men are playing well. Maybe they're not actually good players. And I don't mean they're crap players. I just mean they're not as good as they look now. Do you get what I mean? In the team they're in now. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Man City, will they ever be elite?
All right. Let me answer this one. Man City, for me, only really have to win the Champions League to kind of go into that conversation. Because I think we've held off.
Why do they need a European trophy? I'm asking as an Arsenal fan. Why do you need a European trophy to be considered
Because
elite?
for me, I think it kind of cements your club's legacy. And not only that, it kind of cements that upper tier that I think you now can sort of sit at the table. Because I think Man City...
So are we not allowed to the table, man?
What's that, sorry?
Are we not allowed to the table? I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm talking as an Arsenal fan. Are we not allowed to the table?
Then, No. I think with Arsenal fans...
Are we at the kids' table?
No, I'm just saying that Arsenal fans will always put themselves in there because I think the whole unbeaten thing in Invincibles, that's their kind of claim to the elite table. And it's how you see that criteria.
So do we have to sit at the kids' table or are we allowed at the grown-ups' table?
You're allowed a tray, innit? You're allowed a tray. You can sit on the sofa. I mean, that's the best thing I can give you. I can't give you everything because you haven't won the Champions League, but you can have a tray in it. But no, big man thing with the whole Arsenal thing, it's that whole of Champions League. Like, you haven't won it, so can we really put you in there? But at the same time, I fully respect the whole you win a season unbeaten. But then it also comes down to how many, like, you think of today's game now, and it's a bit unfair, but sometimes we do look at it and go, yeah, but how many, dangerous teams did Arsenal face, like, in terms of the now team, so to speak? So it's a hard thing to say, but regards to Man City, I think it's that. I think for me, they've got to win the Champions League, and I think they're in there because they're battling up Premier Leagues. They've won the Carabao Cup, like it's pretty much their cup, other than not this season. So I will say once they get that Champions League, I think they kind of can set the table because they're kind of creating their own legacy, and we can't keep holding them back and saying, "Oh, they haven't got enough in the bank, or they haven't got enough rare tear." That's what they're doing now. You got to start somewhere, and they've done a hell of a job. You have to give them man credit. I think when you get a Champions League, you can kind of say, for me, they're elite if they're not already, so to speak, because they are battling it up. They are, but it's just that they got to get over that hurdle.
Let me just go quick, Cal, because I think there's 3 tiers to making you elite. I think it's heritage, fan base, and what your team's currently doing. I think all 3 have to be taken into consideration. And if you can get 2 of the 3, you're pretty much onto a winner. Like, generally speaking, they don't have any heritage. They have to create their heritage. That includes Champions League. So things like that go into creating your heritage. Heritage can also only be made over a long period of time. And even though they've been a club for over 100 years, they were, and I don't mean to be rude, they were irrelevant for majority of that time. So I feel like they're going to need a lot more time in order to be able to create that heritage. Fan base is a huge part of it. How big is your fan base? You can't only have like 100,000 fans, like, for example, and be an elite club. It's not possible. You have to have a worldwide fan base because your fans are what make you who you are. Simple.
Yeah.
And that's not me shading City. That's just me being real. So what they need to do is they need to wait for the kids to grow up. You're most impressionable between the ages of 6 to 12. I think most people in here would, I mean, I hope everybody's over 12 years old. Most people in here would admit that they were impressioned upon by the team they support between the ages of 6 and 12. That's the general rule. So they need the 6 to 12-year-olds over the last millennium, over the last decade, to grow up. To grow up, bro. That's all they need. They just need them to grow up. That's it. So when the man are all in their late teens, 20s and all that and grown-ups, they'll have millions of fans around the world. Because right now they're collecting fans by the day. Because they're doing well and they're badding it up, and all the young kids are going to watch and they're going to want to support them, and he's the guy and rare and all that stuff. So there's that. And then obviously the other part is what you're doing on the pitch right now, which they're doing. So that's the part that they're already dealing with. Like Matt said, they're dealing with it right now. They're winning titles, we're winning trophies every single season. They're badding it up right now. What they're doing now will create the legacy, the heritage, and then build the fan base in order to be elite. So they've got a long way to go before they're elite, but they're on the right track.
Yeah, dudes. And then thoughts on people supporting multiple teams. For me, I don't have a problem with it if it's multiple teams in different leagues, not in the same league. If you've multiple teams in the same league, for me, can't run. But I'm not going to sit here and say I hate anyone who does it. For me personally, you lot know me. I'm quite tribalistic when it comes to football. I won't even buy another club's shirt, and I love the Ajax shirt, for example. But I won't even buy that.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, to put it in simple terms, I got pros. I got pros. It's like that, isn't it? Like you can have side chicks, but you can only be married to one woman. That's what it's kind of like.
I ain't saying that. I ain't getting clipped up with
that.
No,
that's just so people can understand the analogy, man.
Yeah, I ain't even saying it.
I'm putting it in simple layman's terms for the people to understand, man. You have to have your main wife, and then there's other teams, but you can't treat the other teams like you treat the main team.
That's true.
These are the words of Drifty.
No, these are the words of the normal people who understand what that world is like, which I don't. By the way,
that's them.
That's
Jamrock says Matt GSW is elite with no
Golden
heritage.
State Warriors.
Okay, thanks. Okay, is elite with no heritage.
With no heritage and less fans. They're elite because of Steph Curry, bro. Let's not get that twisted. And just to add to that, Jamrock, I saw you and I think it's Weezo going back, like talking in the chat. And what's so mad is I saw you lot talking about, these men want Adeyemi, but they didn't want Daka. Now, obviously, it's all about opinions, and I'm not even saying you guys are wrong, and I'm not even trying to single you lot out. But here's what I kind of gonna put my thoughts on that. Quickly, what you guys were saying. When it comes to Daka, I'm saying for me, I didn't think Daka was good enough for Liverpool. If I'm not mistaken, so far Daka's made 4 appearances in the Prem, and he's done obviously very well in the Europa or whatever European league that they're in. Yeah, Karim Adeyemi, you're right, hasn't got a better record in the Austrian league. However, he's got a better record in the Champions League, where I kind of feel like it's easy to judge the player and see what he can do. And if I'm not mistaken, Karim Adeyemi, I think, has got 4 goals in 5 appearances, and Daka's got 5 goals in 26. So I'll leave that one there. And I'm not even trying to disrespect you, man, in terms of, the opinion that you guys have. But the reason why I'm saying Adeyemi is because for me, I think he's got more to his game than just raw pace. Like for me, Daka, when I watched them games at Leicester, it was just when you watch that hat-trick that he had, it was literally play the ball over the top, Daka runs onto it, and he scores goals. And don't get me wrong, that's all well and good. But I just feel like Adeyemi's have got a bit more to his game, and that's why we're in that one there.
Fair dues. Eric says every player is a system player. This is why Salah, KDB did not make it under Jose. The system is key. That is why elite coaches matter. I agree with the first bit. I think Salah and KDB didn't make it under Jose because Jose didn't have the patience nor the long sight. Jose's not a manager you go to if you want to develop as a youngster, in my opinion. You have
I
to
also
be ready,
agree
mate.
that his system wouldn't be beneficial for them anyway, though.
We say that Robin thrived in the Chelsea system under Jose because Robin was ready when he went.
Robin was ready. He was ready for everything.
That
when he
was a different
born,
Jose, though. He don't play like that, though.
Robin was
No, that's
ready
what I'm
for
saying. Jose's not the guy you go to if you want to develop as a youth player or a younger player, should I say.
But he's changed the way he plays entirely. He's just got more and more defensive the older he's got, basically.
Yeah. Ash says, can't wait to see the German Chris Wilder trying to get Bruno, Pogba, CR7 in Gegenpress, keep a tally of the hamstring injuries they might run. He's not the German Chris Wilder. We've got to do better than that, Ash, bro. I know that's shade, but he's a G.
I'm all for the shade, but we do have to be a little.
He's a G. Baby Assassin says, so Cal, Hazard is the best winger in Premier because he played under 6 managers, most of them defensive, 5 out of 7 and balled out except one season. I don't know if is that a question or is that your statement, bro? Let me know.
I think he might be basing it on what you was talking about earlier, but I'm trying to remember what you said. Because that sounds more like he's talking about a conversation we're having. I'm trying to remember.
I was saying that people who were saying Trent's not good because he's only played under one manager, I'm saying, do they have that same energy for Scholes and Giggs, for example? I rate Hazard, so I don't think he's the best winger the league's seen, but I rate him highly. Anna says LeBron and Liverpool clothing line incoming. I bet.
Yeah, I saw that.
I bet it's going to be like £500 for a t-shirt or something. Shout out to Brentford as well, by the way, who were doing their kits the old school way and keeping them for 2 seasons as opposed to 1. Shout out to them for that.
For real.
And they're a club that need money. You got to rate that.
For real.
Hold on, Cal. Before you bring the last person, before you bring the last person, should we drop some music? Like, because obviously, you know who he is.
The entrance and that. Go on.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. You know we back with it. Big Steve's Armani the Don. Let's go. Shots like Alex Ferguson, doing what I love, I'll never have to work again. The fiend still fiending, best believe I'm still serving them. Shorty got a thing for the fast life, working on her OnlyFans and Percocets. Out of touch, I brought it back. Loyalty to
Listen, this is our guy, you know.
Hey, my brothers, before I get into it, a quick word for Thomas Partey and Arsenal. Turn your lights down low. And pull your window curtain.
Now.
Oh, let Jamoon come shining in into our life again. Saying ooh.
Right. That's one of my all-time favorite songs, you know.
Bro, that song got me in a lot of trouble.
You're a killer,
What's going on, bro?
Hey, my brothers, big up every time. The best channel on YouTube, Twitch, the realest. I can't say the word on here, but you know the realest.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
You see me?
Wait, my
My killer. But today I do have a serious thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about Jurgen Klopp, my manager. I want to talk about his comments, right? And the thing is, I understand the platform. This isn't the time.
I've still got it.
This isn't really the time and place to get into racial intricacies, but you guys are my brothers, so I'm going to keep it as real as possible without entering that area. You know what I mean? Because I understand the whole situation. But the thing is, the Euros was a 2-year process that interrupted Liverpool's rhythm. The build-up after the teams qualified into it, it messed up Klopp's preseason. He didn't have especially if Virgil and Trent were not injured, they would have been away and not there on preseason on time. And I can say that he would have never referred to the Euros as little. Never. I'm willing to bet my next year's entire wages on that. He would never say the Euros, oh, there's a little tournament happening this, even though it does affect him. Maybe it's not in the middle of the season like Afcon, but still it does hinder us to a degree. But I agree with Drifty in that I don't like cancel culture, and it's a big problem today. Every time somebody has an issue, it's just boom, boom, boom. You hear something you don't like, it's boom, boom, boom. My only thing about it is because he would never say that about the Euros. The thing is, people sometimes say things about African people and their descendants across the world, and they never have to really answer for it. It's just, oh, well, he didn't mean it like that. He's not racist. And I'm not saying that Klopp is a racist, because I don't think that he is somebody that walks around saying, damn, I hate black people. He doesn't do that. So that's not what I'm saying at all. But it's just one of those things that, for me, I told you guys, my father's from Côte d'Ivoire. Mm-hmm. The Afcon to me it's besides the World Cup, it's my favorite competition. I won't lie to you about that. More than the Euros, more than any other competition, to me, and obviously you can say that other competitions are better, but to me, in my opinion, besides the World Cup, it's the best competition. You see what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, we can say, I'm hearing a lot of things like, well, Afcon sucks anyway. Well, the thing is, like,
that's out of order.
That's out of order because, trust me, do you think I want to watch Denmark play Sweden? I don't. I'll be 100% honest. Even where my father's from, Côte d'Ivoire, our team is better than the players that we have that are available to represent the country are better than most European nations. Yeah. Sebastian Haller is the leading scorer in the UCL. Maxwell Cornet is doing a madness at Burnley. Frank Kessié is one of the best midfielders in Europe. Denmark and other, if it's not Germany, France, England, Spain, Italy, the other European nations really can't chat to us when it comes to quality. So I don't want to hear people, I really don't like people talking about, oh, well, it's a shit competition anyway, because it's not. Because if we stack up the players, yeah, Nicolas Pepe, he flopped at Arsenal. But that's because Arsenal is a shit team with a shit coach. If he came to Liverpool, I promise you, God, it's something that I can't really say about Pepe because obviously you can only talk about what's visible. But he's a great player. I'm telling you, he's a great player playing, but he's in a shit environment. If he came to Liverpool, he would be doing a madness. Even like the way Jota's balling, he would be on the same level. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Klopp is just, he shouldn't have said it. It's just one of those things like I said, sometimes we allow our community, people can say what they want about it, and it's just, oh, well, he didn't mean it that way. But other communities, if they hear something that they don't like, or it's something that's a little bit, it's on the gray area, they'll say something about it. And men will either get fined, they'll get fired, or they'll have to answer for it. So I'm glad. I love Klopp. I wish he used a different word, but I'm glad that the reporter, I'm glad that Uncle said I'm glad he pressed him about it, because it was something that he needed to answer for it. You brothers, right? Listening to you guys for over a year and a half, you guys are people that I already know you wouldn't allow yourself to be disrespected. And in the walk of life of not being disrespected, certain things, even though it might be a minor thing, you wouldn't allow them to say it to your face. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask
So
one
in
quick
that
question?
spirit,
One quick question. Before the reporter pressed Klopp, did anyone mention it though?
nobody mentioned it. Nobody.
But more than mention it, did anybody think it? Is more what I would say. Like, do you think it's more people are feeling this way because it was made to look that way?
I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't see the previous interview where he actually said little. I didn't see it.
Have you seen it now? Have you seen it?
Yeah,
now?
I've seen it now.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, because when I watched it, he kind of said, like, we got the little competition, like the Afcon kind of thing.
Yeah.
And but then I saw it as him being sarcastic to, it's a massive competition. See, I saw it differently from you. I mean, I'll be honest, I saw it differently. I saw him being like, yeah, we got the little competition of the Afcon, but what he really means is, bro, this competition mashes me up every time.
No, I saw it the same way. I saw it the exact.
Okay,
no,
okay,
I
okay.
understood. I understood the sarcasm. My thing is,
yeah.
don't be sarcasm with my competition. You get
I
me?
hear you.
It's,
I get it.
I
get it.
understood.
I hear you.
I know Klopp, like, before, from I've been following the man for
There's a thin
listening
line.
to
I
every.
get what you're saying.
Yeah, I've been listening to the man for like what 6 years now. So I know he doesn't have that bone in his body.
Yeah.
But don't be sarcastic, because that's my point. A lot of times people are allowed to be sarcastic about things relating to to African people and their descendants around the world, and that's just the thing, because you wouldn't say that about, if Taki was scoring 30 goals a season, he wouldn't say the Asian Cup, he wouldn't say. I don't think he would. At least I don't. I know he wouldn't. I know he wouldn't say that about the Euros. I know that for a fact. But I'm just that's all I'm saying. But yeah. So that's just my thought on that situation. I love Jurgen. He does a great job. He's the best manager in the world. He's the best manager that I've seen in my lifetime. So this is not an indictment on his character. And I don't, like Drifty said, I don't agree with cancel culture where it should be an indictment on his character. I just think he shouldn't have said little, because he wouldn't have said that for the Euros. And the Euros affected us a lot throughout these past 2 years. And he never said that. So that's the only thing. But yeah.
I get your point. I get your point. It is a tough
I'll be honest,
one,
I don't agree, but I see where you're coming from. If that
that's what I mean. Where I do agree with you though is that the absolute disrespect that the competition and African players in general get.
But we know why that is though.
Yeah, I do. And living in England, I'll be honest with you, it took a long time to get people from being blinded by the propaganda of African players are only this and they're only that. Do you get what I mean? And it's kind of a stereotype that runs through life, because obviously we don't want to get political.
Think that propaganda's there now, Drift, I'll be honest.
Yeah, even like all you are is strong, quick, like and all that kind of stuff. Like, and it was a very fucked up propaganda that was spread, and I think it does still affect a lot of people. Like, I'll be honest. So in that regard, where I do agree with you, even though I disagree with what Klopp's done, I agree with you is that maybe people need to be a little bit more understanding of, no matter what the situation, don't do anything to help an agenda that's already there. So in that regard, I kind of can see your point.
Because the thing is, Klopp's done nothing. Klopp has done nothing that's really wrong. I want to make that point clear. Klopp has really done nothing wrong. It's more so a point of, because you can go to the store and somebody will maybe see you walking a certain way and say, oh, that man's sweet. That's not necessarily, he's not really wrong, but at the same time, if you heard it, you would be like, yo, what are you talking about? So that's kind of what I'm getting at. But Callum, what exactly don't you disagree with?
Well, if I'm going to be honest, I don't agree with the fact of him basically using sarcasm just for that. I've seen him use sarcasm for a magnitude of things, and I think without this reporter coming and saying that, I don't think there's anyone who mentions it. Whereas if, let's say, for example, I made a derogatory term to you here now, that we'd see instant outrage in the comments, and then we'd see further outrage after. Whereas if I made a comment and no one said anything, and then someone clicked it and then pulled it up on the next show and was like, Callum said this, and then everyone starts to be like, oh, did he mean this? Did he mean that? For me, I think it's a case of it's only being brought up because someone's mentioned it, as opposed to it being such a bad thing. I genuinely don't believe, and again, I don't know Klopp personally.
No, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
But that's what I'm saying. To see him signing African players, wanting African players, supporting players from all nationalities and cultures, etc. I don't think he's going to say it. And I used an analogy at the beginning of the show where if I was to fight Ngannou or Mike Tyson tomorrow, and I was fighting Matt today and Drifty on Monday, and I was like, I'm fighting Matt today, I've got a little problem of fighting Tyson tomorrow, and then I'm fighting Drifty on Monday, no one would be like, oh, man doesn't rate Tyson. He doesn't think Tyson's a big, like, you guys would all know that's going to be a sarcasm thing. So that's where
I agree. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Again, it's not really an indictment on Klopp. It's just more one of those things where I'm happy to see him, the question being asked. Like,
I think it's being asked the wrong person, though.
It is being wrong. It is being asked to somebody who really shouldn't be in that firing line, if you get what I mean. Yeah. But like I said, other communities, like, it happens here all the time with American sports. Like, other communities, if something happens, they're going to speak up on it and they're going to make a big fuss of it immediately.
Yeah.
And you either answer to it or you have issues. Simple. A lot of times when it's in the community that we come from, it's, oh, well, he didn't really mean it like that. And it's just, come on, let's not even talk about it. Just leave it alone. So I'm just saying I'm happy the question was asked. That's all. Klopp is not that type of guy. Klopp is a good man. I'm willing
I get what you, but basically what you're kind of, I mean, I don't to put words in your mouth, but you're almost going along the lines of, it makes sure that people know they can't do it.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether Klopp was guilty of it. It's just keeping everybody in the know of, look, you can't do what you think you can or say what you think you can, because we're always ready for when you are doing. I get what you mean in that regard. 100%. I get what you mean in that
I don't want Thomas Tuchel
keep them on their toes.
Yeah, I don't want Thomas Tuchel to sign Yannick Kessié today and then 2 years from now say the same thing, because best believe if his best midfielder is not available, it's going to annoy him. And he might be prompted to call it a little tournament. I don't want a situation where he feels like it's okay to say that, because he wouldn't say it about the Euros. That's all I'm saying. That's
fair enough.
I get the logic behind it. I get it. I get what you mean.
So
it's an internal problem that we have to kind of sort out in life in general, like you're saying, where things get, people always let it slide and rare and the unity, and obviously that's just a greater social issue.
That's a greater social issue. Right now is not the time and place. Obviously, I got your personal, contact. We can speak about that. But just on the surface, that's my view on it. But the thing I want to tell you guys, that what Jamal said about the most tech player, I told Drifty this. I'm a football agent. I work in football. I met a brother that works for Liverpool training, like at the training facility. He was here in Florida on vacation. I asked him, I said, who's the best player in training? This man didn't take 5 seconds. He looked at me straight. He said, Naby Keita. In training, he's untouchable. When he's moving, like his teammates are chasing shadows. This was obviously
take Matt off of the screen quickly, please.
Guys, I've got to shoot. Let me shoot. I'm gonna catch up with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch up with you as well. I'm gonna catch up with you as well. All right, I've got to shoot, guys. Let me shoot.
Send through the
I have. I've
got it. Yeah. Cool. All right, peace, bro.
Blessings, bro. Blessings.
Yes, bro.
Bless you, brother.
Yeah, no, the Navigator thing. I hear that, bro. I listen, like all I'll say is this about Navigator. It's so mad because when we lost our first game, everyone was talking about midfield looked kind of like empty, like it looked like someone was missing. Well, you want to know something? The person that was missing was Navigator. And here's the thing. And I know it's easy to say, and I say it all the time, and people are like, no, but bro, like, surely you had enough. But when Naby Keita is fit and he plays, he makes a massive difference to how we even play. He's so progressive and comfortable and able to beat a man. He opens up the game for us. Whereas our midfield, normally, if Ox ain't on form, nothing else is coming from midfield. Like nothing. There is literally nothing. And I think that's what it is in Naby Keita.
Yeah, because honestly, I think it's between him and Bobby. But since Thiago's come, I feel like Thiago's honestly he plays football at a different level to everybody else. His tech is next level. So I'd probably say him, then Naby, then I don't know. Bobby's a close one. Bobby's
definitely there.
Bobby might be 2, maybe Naby 3, because Bobby's probably the best football player I've seen him with my eyes. Just the things that he does, like because to people it's all about stats, goals, assists. Just like the way he moves, the way he touches the ball. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before.
We might have to actually just have a video about it. It'd be a fun video to actually just do a whole video about the technical ability of who and ranking them and stuff. We could do that still. That would be a good video.
I think we should, for real, yeah.
We should, man.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking in the chat. Man, I'm not happy with my assessment on Klopp's comments. Bro, and that's the thing. When it comes down to those issues, it's always we don't want to talk about it. Just don't talk about it. Just be quiet,
Yeah.
Which is another issue, but
I think that's always going to be personal to each individual as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like some people do feel differently about it, and where it's one of them.
I never cussed Klopp.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. What you did was a very respectful and just your opinion on what it is, bro. And you're allowed to do that, bro. Of course you are.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. But hey, we move. Like Matt says, man. Like
we
Matt,
do, bro.
we
move, bro. Trust me. No, we do, man.
Love as always, though, brother, man. Love as always, man.
Yeah. Hey, respect.
Big up, man.
Each and every time, bro. Have a blessed weekend, yeah.
Yeah, man.
You guys too. Yeah.
Yeah. Big up, bro.
Bye. Yeah.
All right. Cool, bro. Right. Let's read that last of the super chat. So 975 Jamot says, I want Adeyemi as well. However, Daka has 1 goal and 1 assist in 102 minutes of Premier League football, to be fair, and Daka offers something different. I actually agree with that. He does offer something different to what we have at the moment. It's just when I see Adeyemi, I think Adeyemi's just got a bit more to his game. That's what I was saying to you earlier on before, Jamot. But it's all love anyway. It's all about opinions, isn't it? Like, no one's right, no one's wrong. I respectfully.
I don't know much about Adeyemi, to be honest with you, so that's why I'm not even chiming in on it. Yeah.
No, fair enough. Oh yeah, I think Thingy updated this, so that I can Thingy. Anas Yazin says it was taken out of context. That's in regarding to what Klopp said.
To the Klopp stuff. Yeah.
1975 Jumper says it's like calling someone who is fat little Kevin.
I get that. That is a good way. Like Friar Tuck and Little John. And Little John was obviously, I get it. I get both sides of the argument. I do, because I understand where Armour's coming from when he's like, let's just make sure everybody knows, even sarcasm
can be perceived.
Can be perceived the wrong way, so therefore don't do it.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously the people who are on the side of, but sarcasm is something that is just a part of daily life. So I get both sides of the argument. I genuinely do.
Yeah. Debt with the podcast says the anger should be at the reporter who asked Klopp the question and left out the Afcon. That's why he answers sarcastically. Yeah, see, there's a lot.
I get that as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. There's loads of different opinions on the situation. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely. Ash says, go watch back the press conferences. Klopp has used this term little matter of many times. Little matter of City, little matter of Barca. Do you want to know what? Funny, I said that. Yes, he has said that. I remember he said that, funny enough. So yeah, but again, I don't think no one think like Klopp is guilty or bad, man. I just think even though he's been sarcastic, and I think everyone kind of understands how he did it, you still have to be careful because there's going to be the few that, even though you're being sarcastic, they will still say to you, yeah, but you didn't even have to be sarcastic. You could have just been like, I'm going to.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And the reason why I have a little bit more respect for the situation after what Ahmed said as well is because you have to take into consideration if that person is from there and you can't dismiss their feelings. So as Ahmed said, because he's actually from like his descendancy is Ivory Coast, if he's got a feeling it shouldn't be said, he's somebody who you do have to kind of listen to because he's one of the people who is in the firing line of the sarcasm, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
do you get what I mean?
I get me.
So, like if someone says something about bald people, everybody else might laugh it off, but I might be like, well, I know it was a joke, but you don't know what it's like to be bald. You know, so you kind of still have to have the respect of that. Do you get what I mean? It's like, but come on, man, you can't be annoyed about a bald joke. And yeah, of course I shouldn't. But if you're not bald, you don't know what it's like to be bald. Therefore, you still got to have a little bit of respect. And maybe just don't run the joke. So again, so I get where Ahmed's coming from.
Some things don't need to be said in it, and I think
I think it got. But I think at least, but as Ahmed cleared up even himself, there is nobody who believes that Klopp is racist, and that is the most important thing because if that narrative starts to be spanned, that is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's the narrative we have to make sure that is not spanned, and even Ahmed himself fully agrees with that.
Yeah, he fully agrees with that as well. Yeah, he knows Klopp ain't racist. Anna says people were saying no international football till March. Yeah, obviously because of guessing what's happening with the virus. Is that with the virus?
Yeah, with that whole thing that with the whole like this new variant and stuff. Yeah, there's all worries in that, bro. Like they're saying it might be. Apparently, there's no flights allowed into England at the moment. You know.
I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of to be expected that the virus will kind of. Hate to say it, but it would pick up obviously because of winter time, and obviously just naturally your body is weaker. So as humans, we're gonna get these colds, whatever. As you guys have known, like I've had a cold, or obviously I'm very fortunate I didn't get anything else. But when your body's a bit weaker, the immune system and whatnot, when the cold comes along, this is what happens. So yeah, it's kind of always to be expected. Eric Kai says. My guy is right. For Africans, the Afcon is second to the World Cup. We don't disrespect the Euros. The disrespect it get too much.
In general, I agree. The African Cup of Nations gets a lot of disrespect, and that is wrong. And that needs to stop.
Lord Walker says non-native speaker confuses little for short. Stop. Lord Walker, I think that's a bit kind of harsh. Still, like. I don't know.
Although I guess what he's trying to say is something that I said a little bit earlier on is maybe things can get lost in translation when there's people of different mother tongues talking about something. Because sometimes that can happen. Because I think what a lot of people don't, I mean, I might even be ignorant in even saying this, but do other languages have sarcasm, or is sarcasm more of an English thing? Like, I don't even know because I don't speak any other languages. Do other languages even have sarcasm? Because, do you get what I mean? So maybe it is something that people can misinterpret because, do you get what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, for example, there's some countries where their language, no matter what language they speak, there'll be a word they'll still say in English because they don't even have their version of that word. It's just an English word. So I don't know if sarcasm is a bit like that. I don't know. If sarcasm is everywhere, then obviously it's different. But if it isn't, that may be how it can get lost in translation. I don't know.
Yeah. No, but guys, we're going to end it on a positive. And the positive is that we got Southampton tomorrow. We should get them 3 points. And I'm expecting a 3-0. Jiff, I know obviously he wasn't involved in the preview earlier on today. But just quickly, Jiff, what's your prediction for the Southampton game tomorrow, bro?
Do I have to give one?
Yeah, Southampton, go on.
Yeah, but bro, like I said, man, I'm not just gonna dismiss them, not because I want to be negative in any way, but because they have turned up at the Etihad, and I do believe Old Trafford, and everyone thought they were gonna get smoked, and they didn't, bro.
And Arsenal have the best defense. Remember that as well.
But bro, if you can go to the Etihad and come away with a draw, that is a very good barometer of you being able to pull off a big result.
Bro, who beat? But Palace beat City, if I'm not mistaken, this season, yeah?
And that's a very good barometer for Palace to come into your ground. Have we played
Have we played Palace yet?
I think we beat Palace at Anfield.
Okay, then. So stop. Don't worry about City. Worry about us.
No. I know that. I'm just saying, like.
No, but again, it's your opinion. But no. Yeah, Southampton? What are you going for? Quick prediction, bro.
1-0 Liverpool.
For those that didn't see the preview, go check it out. Me and Kyle chopped it up earlier on. Please go check it out, people. Like, share, and subscribe to that video. I will not. In fact, I'm not going to give you my prediction. I'm going to let you watch it in the video that me and Kyle did earlier on. So yeah, I'll leave it a bit of a cliffhanger. But now, people, it's all been love this evening. Just want to say thank you again for all the callers that joined us in today. And not only that, it's all the people that have commented. It's been another great show again, guys.
Definitely.
And you know what I mean? Guys and ladies as well, whoever was able to join today. It's all love, nothing but love each and every
Big up
time.
the Twitch gang in the building as well.
Indeed. But we're in that festive season now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all love, it's all merry. Christmas is literally around the corner. So make sure you cherish your loved ones. And not only that, let's hope Liverpool get those 3 points. And before we leave, I talked about, it's that season to be jolly. I'm going to leave you this before we leave out. We'll see you again tomorrow, people.
So Matt, just before we go, did you get through all of the super chats that Cal sent through? So just to not disrespect anyone. Okay,
that was everyone's.
Cool. Big up to everyone with the super chats as well today as well, man. Love as always.
Indeed. But now, people, it's that festive season. So before we go, obviously we'll see you again tomorrow. We won't be doing a lot long overly for the, how can I put it? The logistics. Logistics. Yeah, I'll say that. But we will be there for the match review. Don't worry about that. We will be there, but unfortunately, we won't be there for the watch along. But yes, till then, people, we'll see you again tomorrow. It's the festive season. Make sure you get merry. Well, not just yet, but maybe tomorrow during the game, whatever, have a little drink or whatever. That's what I might do, even though I feel under the weather. But people, we'll see you again tomorrow.
Jambot was talking about international break in general. Yeah, Jambot, yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's no more breaks in the game.
Okay.
There's no more break. Yeah. There's like a 3 or 4 month until the which is good because international football kept on disrupting the league. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's no football till March.
Cool. Island people, we'll see you again tomorrow. Match reaction, people. Liverpool, Southampton, we'll see you there. And it's a season to be jolly. I'll take you out. See you later, people.
Hi guys, by now you'd have seen our merch store and you're familiar with it. But hold on, what's that? Christmas stuff? Oh, hold on a sec. Merry Kloppmas. Mugs, t-shirts, hoodies for men, women and children. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Look at the detail on that. But wait, hold on. There's more. Jingle. No, not jingle bells. It's Jurgen bells. Look at the Christmas tree with the trophies underneath it. Snapbacks. You know how it is. You've seen the snaps that before. Oh, it's a red one. It's a red one as well. Guys, you know what to do. Click the link in the description, head over to our merch store and get your stuff now. Let's go.